Got some good old broccoli, carrot, banana, pineapple, as people normally eat as a thing. That is so choice of flavors.
That's the whole mixture?
Yeah.
I think, old people, I think, do that. I think it's like one of those pasty things they put in them. Oh, that's probably what they put in people when they gotta, like the poo pumps in the hospitals. All the nutrition.
You know, if I could live off of this stuff and it was cheap, I would do that.
Yeah, exactly. I want to inject it into me like that too, because I don't think I want to taste it.
Exactly. I don't know. I've tasted most of her food so far, and usually it's not too bad.
No. I mean, Homer Simpson.
This one smells a little bit weird, but
like I used to just drink the juices. He's always drinking when my niece used to come over. I always say, "Hey, give me some of that." Get that little sippy cup.
It's good for you. It doesn't have as much sugar. Hello, gamers, and welcome to episode 307 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade. I'm your host, Daniel Nixon, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
It's been an okay week. It's been okay. Yeah. Man, what is going on? I don't know. Oh, I guess, with the movies, man, what's up with,
Warner Brothers?
Yeah, Warner Brothers being, like, coming on HBO Max. They're all their 2021 slate is coming to HBO Max at the same time and comes to the theaters for, I think, like a month or it's like a time.
Yeah, it's a month.
But even still, man, that's a big change. That's a big deal.
I mean, like, who's really going to see a movie a month after it came out in the theaters after you could watch it at home for $15? Only people that were already going to go to the movie theater to see it anyway, and probably have.
Yeah. And they probably have. They probably saw it that month anyway.
Yeah.
So it is, because we don't know what's the state a lot of these businesses are going to be.
Yeah.
Well, some businesses we do know. Some of them, they're non-existent. They don't exist anymore. But the movie theaters, I don't know is it's going to still be here all of next year.
Yeah.
Like, can it survive the situation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for how long? For how long can they survive for the situation? Now you have, like, movies holding out for next year. Can these theaters last? I mean, you can't just last on. I mean, even though Warner Brothers is still coming out, but okay, just say like you lose probably more than maybe half or more than the audience that would have gone to see it in theater. Yeah. Not just because of COVID situation, but because they can watch it at home. Can you just survive off of Disney?
And even then, if you see Warner Brothers doing this, like, how far behind is Disney? Like, obviously there's a level to it with Disney where, like, we didn't see Black Widow come out this year because they won it in movie theaters for one reason or another. And honestly, that seems kind of silly to me, because I feel like there were far more people, myself included, that would have considered paying $30 even to see Black Widow or another Marvel movie at home over Mulan. No offense to Mulan, but the audience is just bigger for that right now. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see, Disney moving in this direction too. I think, was it Universal after the Trolls movie came out that, like, they made a deal with movie theaters or something like that? 'Cause I was thinking maybe it was Warner Brothers that had done that, because that would make sense, basically give the movie theater some sort of kickback.
Yeah, I heard about that. Trolls World Tour, that's what it's called?
Yeah, because originally, like, all these theaters were saying, like, we're not going to show Universal movies anymore. And now it's like, well, you'd be lucky to show our movies, you fucks. They really don't have a position of leverage now. So I'm really wondering, like, what do these movie theaters have to offer, whether it be these companies who are making the movies or even people that want to go see movies outside of people who are into the theater experience. Like, I will give them credit. They have improved that experience over the last couple of years with, adding recliners and things like that. They've absolutely made a more comfortable experience, but that it's kind of like too little too late, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it really is. And then, of course, the pricing. I mean, if you're already paying for these services and the movies are coming out there, I mean, as much as you love the movie experience, I mean, you gotta be like a love. And thing is, how many people are that?
Yeah.
Is that enough? Are those people enough to sustain it? Which I'm going to say probably not.
No, yeah.
Probably not. And then, like I said, if you're already paying for a service that's going to have these movies, most people are going to think like, well, I'll just watch it at home. I'm paying for this service.
Right. Especially because you see like HBO right now doing like lock in 6 months and we'll give you a 20% discount. And it's like, oh, well, especially if I'm doing that and I'm locking it in and it's like, oh, I've just got it, then why would I go out and go see it and pay twice as much if there's more than one person in my family?
Yeah. Yeah, taking the family, and then if kids want to eat or you want to eat, and buying the food there, I mean, that costs a lot, man.
Yeah.
Like you talking about, you take a family of 5 and then you buy some at a concession stand, man. You're in triple digits here.
Yeah,
or close to it. Now, some people, I tell people on Twitter when people talk about the pricing and they talk about, well, it's only $10 where I'm at, and I was like, okay, yeah, you got a theater that they're still cheap,
right?
Not everybody has that, and then you got to tell me what your theater. Okay, you're only paying $10, or you're paying. Somebody said they're only paying $7. What is your theater? I need to know what your theater looks like too.
Yeah.
Like, is it a cheap theater like with the old seats, or is the reclining seats, the nice seats? And like, how good is your screen? Do you have the nice looking screens, the Dolby stuff, or IMAX? Is like, are you telling? I know your IMAX ain't $7. If it is, hey, good for you. But I'm gonna say it's not IMAX.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't get to me. Like, I hate when people do that. Just say, hey, where I'm at is cheap. And it's like, okay, you probably don't. I mean, it's probably an okay theater, but I bet you it's not like a super nice theater like some of these places where they have to cost that much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's. I mean, this COVID. I mean, all these businesses are they're hurting hard. I mean, you got restaurants, you got cities shutting down again.
Yeah.
You know, so it's man. We'll see, because even if the vaccine rolls out, I don't think things can I don't believe things could just go open like that.
No.
They're still going to take time until we get to that point.
Yep.
All right, so I mean, since we talking about movies, might as well get into what we've been watching, and so I'll start it off.
Okay.
All right, so his Dark Materials, I caught up with the 3rd episode. I did watch it last week. I just forgot to mention it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still good. It's still keeping my interest. I'm remembering some things from the book that is related to what's happening on the screen. So I was like, okay, I remember this. I remember reading this in the book. But yeah, it's good, and I think they changed some things to make it more modernized.
Okay.
Because it takes doing modern times. Even though technically, the book came out years ago, so certain things weren't available. Because I don't remember them cell phones. I don't remember them using cell phones in the book, to be honest with you. So, yeah, just to see them having cell phones, they changed things up a bit. Well, in our world, see, in her world, they don't. That's a new thing. They don't have cell phones in her world.
Oh, weird.
Our world, we do have cell phones.
Oh.
All right. So, what else did I watch? Fargo. I don't know how many episodes it is this season. I thought it was going to be 10. But after seeing the 10th episode and how it ended, I was like, oh, there's another episode. And there's 11. I don't know if 11 is the last episode or not. I don't know if it's 12 or what. But Fargo, it was good. It's definitely like episode 9 and even some of 10 has really that Coen Brothers feel, like more so than the other episodes. Like some things that happened that it's weird, and it's like, yeah, that's definitely Coen Brothers. Okay, this fits it. Like 9 was a good one. That was like an episode where it was like all black and white.
Oh, interesting.
And it felt like, it definitely felt like some of their movies, like No Country for Old Men or something like that. Their feel to it, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, I like this series. Now I haven't looked at the reviews. I know my dad watches the show, and he said that the people online that he's seen like reviews on that they don't like it. So I haven't looked at to see what critics thought of it, but I don't know. I like it. I still like it. It's still pretty good to me. Like I'm enjoying it. Maybe it's not the best, but I like it better than last season. I like last season's, but I like it better than last season. The best seasons to me still, maybe the first one. I don't know. The second one was pretty good too. Then between the first and second one, they're probably the best seasons. But like the third season started out like I didn't like it, but I think after like the first 2 episodes, the third one, I think that's where I was like, okay, I like this. Okay, I'm interested in this. I think it picked up. It picked up late. I remember I had to go back to the podcast, but because I think I mentioned that too. But this one, I liked it. I liked it from the start. I mean, I thought it was okay. It's been okay. All right, and I think that's it. Besides the one we watched together. So, what have you been watching?
So I've been watching a couple of things, just Apple TV stuff still. Trying to make use of that before my trial ran out, which it has at this point. So I watched a couple more episodes of Central Park. It's still okay. It's nothing that I'm like, oh, I gotta sign up again to finish watching this, or even.
Hey, do you sing along with the song? You put the subtitles on and sing along with them?
No, and that's part of my problem is like they just aren't like, I don't know, they're not really catchy. Like everything's sing-songy. But it's like, this isn't necessarily like a good song. It's not something I'm just going to put on or anything like that. It's just like, oh, they're singing because that's the gimmick of this show. It's not really like, oh, we had some really good music that we wanted to present here. So it's fine. Yeah. It's something to have on in the background, really, but nothing that's, really, really keeping me there. I did finish Mythic Quest. I actually ended up enjoying that quite a bit by the end of the show. I think those first couple episodes, they were just trying to find their legs a little bit. But by the end of the season, it really kind of came together and was quite enjoyable. I really liked it. I liked the...
Okay, so it's worth watching.
Yeah, I would say so. I enjoyed the relationships that the characters ended up having with each other. It has a very, like... coming together as a family vibe by the end of it. It's still not as like warm-hearted as like Ted Lasso was, but there's some bits in there where it's like, okay, they're growing as people. You can kind of see that, and they're growing closer. It's not just this like loose amalgamation of caricatures of different types of people at a video game company. So that was cool. And then just because we've talked about Ready Player One in the past, the movie and whatnot, Ready Player 2 came out, the book, recently, and during Black Friday, Audible had like a sale on like a month, and you get 2 free credits or whatever to buy audiobooks. And those things are always so expensive. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Ready Player One, it was very much just like, let me throw all this nostalgia in your face. And like, sometimes it's enjoyable. Other times it's like humorously bad. And that's kind of how this ended up being. Like, a lot of it is me listening to it and going like, who is this written for? Because it's like very much written in a YA, like young adults kind of way. Like it's not an adult book. You can tell that. But at the same time, the references that are being made are just like so out of the realm of a lot of stuff that kids nowadays in this age range would know about. Like you and me were talking about before the podcast, like somebody on Twitter bringing up like FUBU. And FUBU is not that many years ago. What are we talking, like 18, 20 at most?
Yeah.
and we're talking about references from like the 80s and maybe the late 70s and into the 90s and stuff. But like, who is getting these references at the age that would really like enjoy this book? It's very much like this book was written by Ernest Cline for Ernest Cline, and, you know, much respect to him for making a freaking huge thing out of the first one and getting a fucking Steven Spielberg movie out of it. But this one is just like, this is more fan service to yourself and the couple of people that, you know, are like in that Venn diagram of those two things. And that's not to say it's terrible. It's not. But the writing is definitely like, oh, you can tell this is, excuse me, you can tell this is written for a younger audience. So yeah, I listened to it pretty much straight through though. So I'll give them credit. I kept listening, you know, I didn't at any point like turn it off and go, this is trash. So yeah, it kept my attention long enough. It took me about the
How long
weekend.
is it?
Let me bring it up real quick and see if it tells me. Audible, Ready Player 2.
Did you get it off of Amazon?
Yeah, I got it through Audible. It's 13 and a half hours basically.
Okay.
So, but I pretty much have my headphones in most of the waking day, and if I'm not talking to people, I'm listening to something. So if I'm working around the house, I'll have my headphones in and whatnot. So it was a quick listen for 13
Just
hours.
ignoring your family. Just ignoring your family. No.
Well, that's the thing. Like with the kid, I try and like, if it's just her and I'll take my headphones out just so it's not silence for her. Like I don't feel that like that's fair. Like you want her to experience as many words as you know she can. So if I'm listening to something and it's just her and I'll take it out. But I try not to disturb my wife because she's usually reading or looking at something else herself. So that's why I usually keep my headphones in. And the same at work, you know, obviously I'm not just going to be having the shit on speakers or whatever. But yeah, so it goes some interesting places. It's not just, in some ways it's kind of just a retread of similar concepts from the first one. Like there ends up being a scavenger hunt, surprise, surprise. But they do, you know, have some different motivations for it and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's besides The Mandalorian, that's what I've been watching. So, Dominic, we watched The Mandalorian sort of together last night. We watched it in sync. What'd you think of this episode?
Oh, this was a short and sweet episode.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it was a little less than 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good.
Yeah, there was a lot packed into there.
Yeah, exactly. It was really action-packed. Spoilers anyway. But the action was great, and I'm curious what Yoda was experiencing while he was in like that force field.
Sir?
Oh, Grogu. Okay.
Grogu?
Yeah, Grogu.
Put some respect on his name.
Experience. Yeah.
Or at least Baby Yoda. Come on now. You gotta give me all of it.
Oh, whatever. He's just a Yoda. He's gonna be Yoda.
It's going to turn out that Yoda time traveled and this is just him as a child. Oh, God. Don't do that, Dominic. Don't give them ideas.
But, and also seeing Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So that old man, because I forgot about him. Even though I remember, it's like, oh, yeah, the old man who was like looking through the shadows. Mm-hmm. You know, I never saw him again. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I found out that he was Boba Fett. So Boba Fett did live. He did live. I mean, there's always been in the old universe before Disney took over.
Expanded
There's
stuff.
been talk about him surviving what's it called? The Sarlacc? Or whatever that thing is called.
Sarlacc pit, yeah.
Sarlacc, okay. Sarlacc pit. But you know, since Disney took over, I don't know if that was still the case.
Right.
If he survived. So, but thing is, when Mando took that armor from the marshal, I was like, maybe Boba Fett's dead, you know, because he got the armor.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, Boba Fett's dead. But now to know that he survived somehow, and he came back to retrieve his armor.
Yeah.
And then he said that line that Django said from episode 2. But I'm just a man in the trying to find his way in the universe, something like that. I thought it was a little corny, but it was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a corny line, but it was cool at the moment. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that they did that. And even though it's a throwback, like they are making a lot of throwbacks to other shows or movies. It doesn't feel cheesy how they're doing it.
Yeah,
like it feels. Yeah, it's like this is how you do it. Like they're doing it the right way, a whole lot better than what the movies have done. Any of them, even George Lucas, like technically it's not really a throwback in the prequels, but it is because references are like, oh yeah, we know this from the original Star Wars, but they do it in a way that's pretty good. And also seeing characters from the previous seasons show up too is pretty good too. The action in this was good. Just seeing the fighting the stormtroopers. Oh, I don't forget what the woman's name is. The woman who plays Mulan, who played Mulan in the original movie and on the Shield, Ages of Shield. What's her name?
Oh, in the show, shit. What is it? It's I just saw it written the other day. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
She was in the first season, right?
Yeah, we presumed she had died in the first season because she was like
exactly
left there.
Now
Fennec.
she's a robot. Fennec. Yeah, Fennec. That's what it was. Yeah, I guess she got that whatever Darth Maul got or something.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
She got like
but
torso implant or something.
And that's so weird because it's like, what kind of universe is that? You could just does she still eat? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see her back. So now we see Grago got captured, but Grago was beating the hell out of those soldiers.
Yeah, he was.
Powers, but like the guy said, he gets tired afterwards.
It made him so sleepy.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking like, man, is Grago, because the way he was beating him, like that ain't Jedi like, that's pretty angry. That's pretty angry.
Yeah, man. That's why Ahsoka wouldn't help him, because she saw it in him. She saw the love for the Mandalorian too, and once he loses the Mandalorian, he's gonna snap just like Anakin did. She saw it happen before, Dominic. She can't let it happen again.
It's the dark. It's gonna be the Dark Yoda, man. Yep. But it's gonna be cool to see this next episode. Bill Burr's characters look like he's gonna be showing up again. Also see that, what's her name? Forgot her name. Is a marshal now.
Yeah, Cara Dune.
What else? Oh, he lost his ship. After he got it all built up, it just blew the fuck out of it. I was like, oh no! I was like, Jesus Christ!
That was truly the tragedy of the entire show, as the title alluded. Yeah, that was crazy.
When I saw they shot it, first I was thinking it was their ship for a moment. It's like, maybe he blew up. Is he blowing up his ship? It's like, oh my god. Oh no.
Which is kind of silly, because like it had a tracker on it. Wouldn't you want to leave his ship so you could still track him and make sure he's not coming after the kid?
Well, I think they assumed that they was probably going to kill him.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
That is true. I mean, they had fucking, what were they, Death Troopers or whatever come down? Those fucking black robotic
the Death
ones.
Troopers just came to capture the kid. They didn't fight him. But I guess they didn't have to, because he was just by himself. So yeah, but it's cool. It is cool that Boba Fett is going to help him. Yeah, he said it's going to help him, save him.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in these next couple episodes, because he's talking about like a prison break of Bill Burr, so we're gonna get that.
Yeah, hopefully
that leads to something crazy, and then of course we're gonna have a team of him and Cara Dune and Boba Fett and I hope
Fennec,
Ahsoka.
I hope Ahsoka somehow comes into play.
Maybe, and now there's talk of like they're gonna. I think Rosario Dawson has already signed on for like 3 movies or something. I don't know if that is actual movies or if we're gonna get like. There was talk of a series for her live action on Disney Plus. Once Disney smells blood in the water, Dominic, they go for it. So. If there was a positive reaction out of seeing Ahsoka in live action, they're going to take that opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, the series is good, man.
Yeah.
The series it is good. It is keeping my interest. Like, this is good to have a sci-fi series of this quality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Star Wars, and it's actually good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad because it's not the best things of Star Wars for me is, well, Empire Strike, well, the original trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, even though in hindsight, the third one of the original trilogy is not that great, but I don't know, I still enjoy it more so than the prequels.
But have you gone back recently and watched the prequels, Dominic? I feel like there's this like whole movement now of like how the prequels are actually good and people are
because
wrong
you
about
watch
them.
all like the TV series, so you can connect them.
I guess maybe that's
together?
what it is. Or it's just young kids that don't know any better. Or young kids that grew up with them.
Exactly. And that's fine. They just stay the hell away from me. But it's just that the prequels and it shows the holes. Like I said, watching the Clone Wars just tell you that the movies have a lot of holes.
Yeah.
That's all it does. It says it makes sense of the movie. It does, but it also brings out holes anyway. Like, it just shows you how bad those movies were. That's what it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best things are the original trilogy and the Clone Wars cartoon I liked. I like the Rebels one. Mm-hmm. Or the latest Rebels one I watched was really good because that played homage to the Clone Wars series because they came to a planet where there was still some of the droids still active from the Clone Wars. So they're with Rex, who is a clone. Uh-huh. And so then they captured them to say, hey, you're the Republic, because they have 2 Jedi and Rex. So this one robot, tactical droid, was still active. And he said, well, since the war is over, well, I'm still have my primary directives to stop the Republic. So what I'm going to do is we're going to fight the last battle. This is going to be the one that decides this Clone Wars.
Oh, wow.
So it's like war games, basically. And they did capture him, but then that's when the Empire came, and then the boy, the young Jedi, he was saying, because they still don't know what really happened in the war. Mm-hmm. So he was saying, it doesn't make sense. Like, y'all fought, but nobody won. He said, y'all fought each other, but who won?
Right.
And then they said the Empire did. So y'all fought a war that nobody won. It was a losing. They came to the conclusion like it was a losing battle, which is what it was. Mm. Nobody was going to win this because the enemy was on probably both sides. Nobody's going to win this war. The Empire took over. So then they joined forces. So this is the first time that the droids and the clones joined forces against the Empire because now they're the enemy.
Yeah.
Interesting. But he's the only droid left, so it ain't like there's a lot of them.
Right.
But they stopped them from that little battle, and it was cool. That was cool to see. But yeah, Star Wars seems like it's taking a new form that it's not just theatrical, which they've been talking about this for years. Like even when Lucas was talking about even doing a show, a Star Wars television show, and I was like really anticipating that ever happen. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see like lightsabers and stuff in TV and stuff like that. But that happened to like a lot years later as a cartoon. But it turned out to be that it was pretty good. Yeah, and it seems like in that fashion, it's done really well. It's done really well on television in recent years than the theaters for me. I mean, it's been okay, but it hasn't been. It just doesn't have that magic that I feel like it had before. And I know you say you can't really get that magic, but I mean, I wasn't there for that magic at first. So
right.
So to me, it just felt like the way Star Wars is like the biggest thing ever. So to me, it's a real disappointment that these movies weren't that good or they weren't consistent. You know, they started out like it could have been, but then it just went a new direction with the second one, and
then an old direction in the third one.
Yeah, so it's a little disappointing that didn't happen. But hey, at least we got these. Hey, it did. Disney actually did something right by having the television series do well.
And it's crazy to think because like Mandalorian, like when it was first talked about, it's like, oh, it's a Boba Fett show. Except it's not Boba Fett. So like,
and I was
cares?
scared of that.
Yeah,
I was scared of that. Yeah, I was like, oh, man, this could be shit. But
Now here we are with the Mandalorian, who's a very interesting character, and we actually do in fact get Boba Fett as well.
Yeah, we do.
I just want to say we didn't say it specifically, but that reveal of him in the armor was just like, this is fucking awesome. And then he goes on to beat the shit out of all those stormtroopers.
Yeah, he got that staff. I don't know what that staff is. I don't.
And that's like what are they called? The Sand people. One of their staffs, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that's one of the things that they use.
Oh, so that's why he's probably wearing those clothes too. He got Sand people clothes.
Maybe. Yeah, because he was on Tatooine, right? Theoretically, this whole time, I guess, maybe. I mean, he still had his ship, which is weird. But yeah, I don't know.
Nobody took that thing.
That's the thing that feels most, like fan servicey is like, oh, we saw the Slave One. Like, how did he still have the Slave One this whole time? Like, everybody thought he was dead, but he's just flying around in this very distinct spaceship.
He didn't change that name, Slave One.
Yeah.
That triggers me, Daniel.
I'm rightfully so, Dominic. Rightfully so.
All right. So, that's it. Do you have anything else?
Nah, I think that's it for me.
All right. So, I guess we get to what we've been playing. I
can kick it off.
Yeah. Go ahead first.
So I played more Control. I'm to the point now where things like really opened up. Because at first I was like, okay, this is like not linear in a way. I mean, you can kind of go wherever you want in the building, but there's not a lot to it. Like, it's not too confusing, because you were always saying like the map was confusing and getting around was confusing, and there is a bit of that, but at the same time, like, there are signs that kind of help you lead your way around and stuff like that. So I wasn't really running into too much of that, but now, like, I've got all these different levels that I've opened up, and I'm just like, oh, now I get it. now I'm like a bit overwhelmed with where I'm going. Yeah, I did like the whole janitorial section, I guess. Had to throw some stuff into the trash and do some things. Now they're like floating enemies around and these things that explode. So there's definitely some more variety in the enemies now. I'm still just liking it. It's nothing really has changed for me gameplay wise. I still just have the telekinesis. I was trying to find my way to getting the shield, because there's like a mission that says something about like a shield kind of power, and I got to go someplace for it, but I don't know where that place is, and I didn't look it up. I did get stuck in a maze. Well, I didn't get stuck in a maze. I got into this maze that I was trying to figure out if I could solve or not. That I did end up looking up to see if it was possible just for me to solve it and maybe get a clue or two. So it's, it's definitely a very interesting world. I like the whole aesthetic of it. I like the look of it and the feel of it. And I just like being in that world. So that's kind of why it's kept my attention. And I've mostly just been playing that, haven't gotten back to Spider-Man yet.
Or less the Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes, or Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, and then the other thing that I played this week, I played some of the Hyrule Warriors demo, because I've been telling you since that came out that I downloaded and I wanted to give it a shot, because I'm not a huge Dynasty Warriors guy, but I'm also a guy that hasn't really given one of those types of games a try in a long time. I think the last one I maybe played any of was like a demo on the 360 probably. And I actually was surprised to find that I very much enjoyed what I played of this demo. And I don't necessarily think it's just the Zelda stuff. I like the Zelda stuff on there. You and I were talking about it, like having voice acting in there is very nice for a Zelda game, which, we haven't seen in the main series yet. So hopefully they pull some of that stuff into there.
Yeah. It was very limited in the Breath of the Wild. Like, it's very limited.
Yeah.
In that one, but I mean, maybe we'll get to that. Like, I don't need him to talk. I mean, yeah.
Didn't have a silent protagonist, but everybody around him, like, there's no problem with them talking. Like, that shouldn't be a problem.
Exactly.
But yeah, like as far as gameplay, I thought it was cool. It's very interesting the way the different characters are utilized. Like Link has kind of the stuff you would expect from him, sword slashes and whatnot. But like Impa has this ability to like clone herself basically, and she has like different projections of herself that does extra damage and all these things. And then Zelda very much relies on like the different magical spell type things and whatnot. I think,
with the tab. What's the tablet? The Sheikah Slate?
Yeah, that's what it is. The Sheikah Slate. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of it. Yeah, I think she was my least favorite to play with out of those three.
She has to pause a lot. Like because she stops and uses the Sheikah Slate. And it's just, I don't know, it doesn't feel smooth.
Yeah.
Like the other people.
Yeah, because Link, obviously, you just have sword combos and stuff, and you can throw in like bombs and the Sheikah Slate stuff as well. But Impa's stuff is just crazy the way you're like.
It is.
Manipulating these like weird things, and then you like gather this thing, and then you get another clone. Like, I wasn't 100% sure what I was doing some of those times. Like, when I press this button, I think it's like R or something, and then I have to press Y, and then once I do that, like I get another projection of myself, and I just kind of kept doing that, but I didn't really understand exactly what I was doing there, but it worked, so that was fine, and just plowing down hordes of moblins and whatnot, and lizard staffo and whatnot, I think was really cool. I fought like some mini boss type things, but I didn't get any like named character, huge person fight. Is there something like that in the demo?
The only thing I can think of was on the stage where what's those robots?
Oh, the Guardians.
Sentries?
Yeah, that's where I stopped at, because I wasn't like, I think the goal is to like turn on some other Guardians or something like that.
Yeah,
and it wasn't entirely clear to me on the map what I was supposed to be going towards.
And that is the last
those
mission.
Oh, okay.
You can do for the main game.
All right. So I did get relatively far in the demo. I wasn't sure about that. But yeah, I thought it was a good experience. It was cool. The gameplay feels pretty fresh. You know, it doesn't just feel like a Zelda game, but at the same time, it does in ways feel like a Zelda game. I'd be interested in that first game. Did they have you like getting on Epona and stuff and riding around the battlefield?
You know what? Let me go. I gotta play. I'll check out Hyrule Warriors again to let you know. I don't think so. I think you just have to run fast.
Yeah, because they do that in the Dynasty Warriors games, right? Like you're on a horse sometimes.
Yeah, they have horses.
So that would be a cool addition if they didn't have that in the first game.
You don't run as fast as you do on these games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and you do run fast in this game. I think that's part of what I liked about it, is just everything is so fast paced, and probably why I didn't like the Zelda gameplay as much, because it slowed things down a little bit more than I wanted. Yeah, I think that game's cool. So.
Okay, I'm a little shocked. I don't like you liking this game. You stay away from the Dynasty Warrior games.
It's trash, Dominic. You can continue to enjoy it. So, what have you been playing this week, Dominic?
All right, so I finished Doom Eternal. I finally finished it.
Nice.
Man, this game they ramp up the difficulty in the end, because they just give you a slew of enemies.
Yeah.
You get this demon, which, I mean, you see it in some of the other stages, but not as much. It's a demon that comes, he summons other demons.
Oh, yeah.
And he's pretty tough to kill. And like, cause I'll get there, then he'll probably warp somewhere else. I was like, oh, I gotta find him. And then it's these totems that in some areas where you have to break the totem because they power up the demons.
Oh, yeah.
So they become super strong. So I'm up here as like a freaking scavenger hunt. Like, oh, where's the totem at, man? 'Cause I'm tired of these demons. They're so strong.
Yeah.
And sometimes the battles get so hectic, I forget the certain weapons I have or the abilities I can do.
Yeah.
Because I can use the same ones, and I was like, oh shit, I could use this. This probably be making it a lot easier. Like, I forget about the BFG. I can just do one shot and kill a lot of them at the same time. Some weapons, they use the same amount of bullets. I mean, they say type of bullets as you do. So you might have a machine gun, and then you have a chain gun.
Yeah.
So they use the same type of bullets, and I be So, because when you switch to another weapon, they'll never switch you to that weapon. They switch another one, another type. And I forget about the chain gun. I forget I have the chain gun. I was like, oh, I can use that. That has a shield modifier on it where I can be shielded for a bit. So then I start using that. So I start using really a lot of my abilities in this game, like in the later spots. And yeah, it just gets so hectic, but it was fun as hell. It was fun as hell doing this, like dodging and everything, trying to get away from the enemies and just shooting, like constantly shooting. And I noticed that if you try to just stand still and just shoot everybody, from a distance, like probably like in Halo or Call of Duty or that nature, you will get killed because they come at you. They come at you. And sometimes and I get mad because I get stuck behind a wall. Like, oh no, I don't know where to go. And it's like, because I can't get out this corner. But yeah, the bosses I had to fight were pretty tough. Different. My favorite gun became the sawed-off shotgun, the double barrel, because that has a chain on it where you can just hook shot to someone and it hooks you to them.
Yeah,
and you can it grapples to them and shoot. Oh my god, I constantly do that a lot.
Yeah, that was one of the new big things for this game, right? Over the first game, I think.
I guess so. I haven't beat the first game, so I don't. Yeah, I don't remember having that gun.
One of the things was that like grappling hook style thing for the shotgun.
Yeah, and you need to use that for one of the bosses in the final run, and you don't need to have bullets. I was like, man, if I want ammo, I don't know how to beat this boss, but you can still use it. You just punch him.
That's cool. Gotcha.
So, this game is awesome. This game is awesome. It makes me want to go play the original one now. I wish they just bring that back on Game Pass.
Yeah. They've got to at some point, right? I mean, with
owning they gotta bring it back. Yeah, bring all those fucking games, man. Shit. But now the Doom Eternal is on PC now.
Yeah, it is.
So that's good. And it's a new for me. It's pretty good because if I kind of want to play it again, and it'll be like a new game because it's not. Yeah, it's not play anywhere like it's just a sync up with the console one.
Yeah,
it's like there's a Doom Eternal console version and a Doom PC version, and they're basically two different games, but not different. Which is that's kind of a bad and good thing. Like it's a good thing for me because I want to beat this guy in achievements.
Yeah,
who was on my achieve list. But it's kind of a bad thing for most normal people because like if you just want to just play on your PC, but you don't want to start over again.
Right.
So I think I wish they should have a sync. I want more games to be that way.
Yeah, cross saves would be wonderful.
There's still quite a few games that are not. They're not cross save. They're not just the same game on the PC with the Xbox Game Pass. So yeah, I mean, hopefully as time goes on, more games will do that. Like they will be like, hey, this is cross play, basically.
Yeah.
All right. What else have I played? I played some more Yakuza Kiwami 2. I'm playing this mini game where Majima is the guy who you see like the real silly Yakuza guy who's wearing the snakeskin jacket. He has a construction company, and I'm helping him out because people are attacking his supplies. This other real estate group wants to take over the hills where he's at. So I have to protect them. So what they do is a mini game. It's like a strategy game. You recruit soldiers, and you put them in certain locations on the map while waves of enemies comes.
Okay, so like a tower defense type thing.
Yeah, exactly. It is like tower defense, I should say. Yep. So, yeah, so you have to just protect your supplies. You're protecting your supplies for construction groups. And it's different maps. And it's an online play with this. I think you can play against people doing this. So, which I'm curious how the fuck that works then. Playing against people. Because right now it's like waves of enemies. Or unless it's like you're competing against people on it. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Because it does have online. It has, hey, go online to play. But I just played the single player. I'm not finished yet. I thought I was. I fought the last guy, but some guy traded on him. So, as you beat like bosses, you recruit them to your team also. So this is a nice game within a game. Like and I haven't done the cabaret because the cabaret is in another city, and in this city, the big mini game is the construction company, tower defense. While if I go to the other city, it's the cabaret. So I've been playing this one. So it's cool that they have these mini games that are very addictive and cool. Like they're pretty damn good. And I do use cheats in this game, but there isn't no cheats for the construction company. I have to play that legit. So I was a little disappointed, but it was fun. It's fun. Because you level up, your guys level up, and you can level them up to like be stronger, get more health or defense. They have special abilities they can use. I think you only can use your top 4 guys that you put up. That's how you order them to use special abilities at certain times. And you use money. The money you occur during the battles, you can use to use your abilities. And to heal your men. And they can heal up to like 5 times before you can't heal no more. I think I lost one like a couple times because I didn't know all that. I didn't bother reading the tutorial, so I didn't even know I could heal people because I was like, oh man, people are just dying. And then I realized, hey, what's this Y button you use? Oh my god, you can heal them. I said, oh, I was wondering what the hell this money was for. I've been collecting. I thought it was just for the abilities, the super abilities. But yeah, the game is cool. What other? Oh, you know what? This game, I will say this. This is probably the most progressive Japanese games I ever played. And maybe there's probably other ones out there, but for me, this is probably the most progressive one. Because I've seen in other games that they had, like, when they had cross-dressers, I think I've seen that in previous games. But in this one, they actually had a person who was trans.
Okay.
Like, at first I thought it was just a bearded woman.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was just a bearded woman, like, being silly. Because, it would be silly. But then I did a mission where a guy I had help from the last game, he left his gang, and he's like a club manager now. But the gang has come back asking for their old boss, because he left the gang, but he left his second in command in charge, but his second command is missing. So the guy said, hey, where's whatchamacallit at? And the guy said, I don't know. He said, well, he owes us this money and something like that, and now you have to pay for it. So we can't find him, we'll get it from you. So he was in trouble, so I went to find where he was at, and then I found out he was this cross-dresser I knew.
Oh, okay.
He was not a cross-dresser. I think he's trans. Because I thought that was just a woman who was just with a beard, like it was being silly. I was like, oh, he was the old gang leader. He changed his name and everything. And then I told him like he had to come help his friend out. Now, and then he said, I don't know. I said, then he was like scared, but then he came out to help him. Like the friend knew what he did, like who he was. He wasn't trying to tell those guys that.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't trying to tell him because his friend was still afraid to come out to tell that what he is. But I was like, you can't change who you are. You have to embrace who you are or something like that. I was like, wow, I ain't never seen really a Japanese game really say things like this.
Right.
So yeah, that's cool. I mean, but yeah, that's how Kiro is. He's like a very conservative, but you know, like stoic guy. Like he's of honor and he always helping people. Like he doesn't believe in hitting women. That's why they said he won't be in Smash, because he said he can't fight women, so he won't fight Peach.
Interesting.
So yeah, it is interesting. Sometimes I think I never fought a woman in this game.
Yeah. And
I think, you know what? I think all the men I was beating up were men. I guess if you want to look at it, you can say that's a little anti-progressive. I don't need this, but whatever. But anyway,
equal opportunity beat-ups is what you're asking for.
Yeah. But a woman is with me. She beats up the men. Seen that, but yeah, I never seen him fight a woman. I never. You know what? There was a woman trainer in. I don't know if that was the first game or the. I don't know if that was 0 or 1. Where a woman did train me in fighting, which I was like shocked. 'Cause I was like, "Wow, I never seen like a woman fighter in this game." And this one has a woman cop, so excuse me. So that was different also. So yeah, I mean this game has some great stories in there. There was one story where I was guarding this famous person, like taking him to restaurants. I had to avoid the girls, the fans, his fans, from getting them. So you had to look at the map to see where they at. So what route you have to take to go to certain places. He always want to go to these kinky places, man. God damn it. Like he wanted to go to this dirty, movie shop or something. He said, "Oh, yes, thank you for taking me here." I said, "Oh, come on and watch it with me." He said, "No." He said, "You're not supposed to do that." I said, "Oh, come on and watch it with me." It's like, oh God. And then he said, "I want to see, I would like to see a girly man." I said, "What?" And I think that's why I took him to see the man with the woman with the beard. Because at that time I still thought it was just a woman with a beard.
Right.
Well, technically, I guess she is. Technically, she is. But I literally, like, I thought it was just a regular woman in a beard. But so he went there and just started. Yeah, it was freaking crazy. Like, they do some crazy shit in this fucking game. But the main story is always great. It seems like it's always keep my interest with the main story. Like, this is a good game with a lot of variety. Like, it keeps me coming back to play because just how much variety it is, and just seeing like, oh shit, what's going to happen? Like, what's going to happen in the main story, and then what the fuck's going to what's these side stories are going to be? Like, what's the next crazy shit is going to be? The one side story I'm working on now is a scam where like there's a petition for getting trees or something in the city, like keep the forestry or something like that. So yeah, we try to protect it and make this city keeping the trees around. So I say, okay, yeah, I sign up for that. And it was a scam just for they can say I owe them money on my email. Like they send me an email scam and say, hey, you gotta pay us this money back or we're gonna find you, Kiru, or something like that. And there was also a scam, people saying, hey, we give you a free modem if you come like with our service. So I said, yeah. So I signed them up to where I lived for to give my modem. And then they said, oh, you got to pay this money for the modem. I said, wait a minute, you said it was free. He said, oh, no, it's not free, sir. It's like, we have to pay this much money. It said, well, I don't want it. I said, well, cancellation fee. You got to pay the cancellation fee. You sign the contract. So then
it's just like real life.
So I basically went to the office and said I'm not paying. And as always, everything ends in a fight. I had to fight the IT people.
Of course.
And they even have like a big dorky looking guy like he trying to fight me. And then they stopped. They stopped the scam, and I told them how wrong they were doing. That's the thing. Everybody seems to learn lessons for these things. Like I teach a lesson that's over. Like, you shouldn't do that. It's wrong. Say, oh yeah, you're right, Kiro. It is wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah, this game is awesome. What else have I played? Oh yes, I'm getting my football fix. So I was like, man, I want to play some football. And since we got EA Play for free, well, it's with Game Pass. So I played Madden 20. So I can't play Madden 21 because it's not on EA Play yet. But I played Madden 20, last year's game, with Mahomes on the front. And I'm playing as the Vikings, playing with my ex-quarterback, Kirk Cousins. And I wanted to do it where, I can watch the games. Like, I can just set the computer to play. Madden has changed a lot. They have cut out a lot of the even small things. They have cut out a lot of small things in the game. Like, you can't just choose who you want to play as in games. Even if you're playing single player. Like in franchise mode. Like in NBA 2K and baseball. I mean, in games that over the years ago, even those games today, you can just go in the menu and say, let the computer play, and I'll just watch it or something. Or I just have it on in the background. Then I'll come in if we're losing. I'll come in and try to make us win.
Right.
But you can't do that, Madden. Like, all you can do is you can fast forward, or you have to go in the menu and say, like, hey, put it on slow motion. Like, you have fast, like fast is fast and slow. That's where you could sim to next possession or next quarter, something like that. Now, if you put it on slow, you can actually watch the game. That's how you'll watch the game.
Weird.
But you can't choose to play as the other team or just put the controller in the middle where the computer plays like you did the years past. They take a lot of control. Like, you can't change the settings in the middle of a game. Like, if you want to just turn off injuries, because like it was a glitch or something. My running back was getting injured all the time. Like, he'll get injured, go on the sidelines, be out for a series, then come back, then get injured. I was like, I'm tired of this. So I want to turn it off, but I can't do it. I have to leave out the game to do that.
That's weird.
Also, if you want to turn out penalties, like the face mask was happening way too often, more often than it should be. Like, holding, I understand, that happens. But face mask, nah, I can't turn it off. I have to quit the game to do that if I want to turn it down on the slaughter. It's like they take a lot of control. Like, I don't know why though, because I'm not playing online.
Yeah,
I'm not playing against anybody. It's just my game, and they just take out a lot of control of these games, and it's just. I think I kind of know why. Maybe because you get experience. I don't know if you can use that experience for the ultimate challenge or whatever cards. I'm not sure. I know you can use experience to level up your players though, and your coach, like for like scouting purposes. But if I'm not playing that, I'm like, yo, just separate single player, man, and let me control my franchise to play the way I fucking want to play it. Like, what are you doing? Why are you taking that out? Like, for what purpose? And yeah, it's just so bad how they just really changed the single player experience, so man, that just make it so inept and just like just don't care. Which I just wish they just man, I just wish I just make it all multiplayer. Then they say, hey, this is a multiplayer game. If I can know not to fuck with it,
right?
Like I mean, goddamn,
online only.
Yeah, just do that. I mean, then I can know, like, okay, I'm just not going to focus on this. Or somebody else, not somebody else. I mean, 2K technically is going to they're going to make a game, but it's not going to be a simulation game.
Yeah.
And shit, and still, they're 2K. There's going to be a shit ton of microtransactions in that fucking game. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. All right, so, and that's all I've been playing. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. Now, we're flashing back to the year 2010. We have a new month now, Dan.
Oh,
December, the last month of the year. So, we have, starting out, for 2010, actually, there's only one game worth mentioning for 2010 on this week last year. Disney's Epic Mickey came out on the Wii 10 years ago. This was an anticipated game for mine, and I think you too, because you did pick it up, as to say. I don't think neither of us completed it, though.
No.
And, well, for me, I did not like the controls, the Wii controls. I think that's what killed it for me. The game looked cool. I like the whole paint mechanic. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like the idea, I should say. It just didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of upset that it did not get ported over to the 360 or the PS3. But they did do the sequel, though, for all the consoles. But I wanted the first one. And I was like, man, because that's what killed it. Because I know you didn't play it. I mean, because you let me hold yours. And I think I still have yours.
That's quite possible.
And I tried to play it because I was like, man, I remember reading the cover. And I think we mentioned up here about the cover that was on Game Informer that had it. And about the guy who created the game, the love he had for Mickey Mouse and things of that nature. I remember reading all that stuff about the game. It looks so cool, like the paint style of it, the old Mickey Mouse. And then with that lost character, the rabbit, whatever his name was.
Is that Oswald the rabbit?
Yeah, Oswald. Yeah, Oswald Cobblepot the rabbit. And but yeah. Yeah, I heard she must have heard me. She's laughing back there. Yep. All right. But yes, but it just, the mechanics just didn't work for me. The controls got lost on me. And I really wish I could play as a regular controller to really experience that game. Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate. It's one of those things that will be lost because I was like, man, it's the controls killed it for me. So what you think of the game? Like, how much did you play of it?
I don't think it was very much. I want to say maybe like the first, was it like broken up into worlds or levels or something like that, basically?
Similar, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember being excited coming into this and thinking like, oh, this is going to be like a really cool modernized Mickey game. And then I think I'm right there with you. Like, could you not control the camera or something maybe? And that just kind of instantly threw me off.
I think that's what it, now I remember. It was the camera. And it was, like a 3D platform where you can't control the camera is.
Yeah. It's not the Nintendo 64 anymore. Yeah. It's not excusable.
No, yeah. It sucked. And that's what killed it. It's so unfortunate. Because the game, I mean, I think it got, it didn't get great reviews. It got like good. I think it's just like just 7s or something like that. Maybe
like
around
7s,
those lines.
8s in that area.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wish it was ported over. I wish they had fixed the controls and ported over, but I guess they probably focus on the sequel instead. Which I don't know how
the licensing, but honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that like we didn't see it revisited like in this past generation when everything else was being revisited, even if it was like just a downloadable thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, come on. We saw Finks in the
Curse of the Mummy.
We saw, I think Taz came out again. Yeah. Taz, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
Yep.
All right. So that was it for 2010. But 2000 had quite a few games come out for this week. Going back 20 years. We got Disney's Aladdin for the Game Boy Color.
The best version of the game.
So this was like the version that was on like was it the Super Nintendo or Genesis or what was it? Or was there a regular Game Boy of this?
I'm thinking it's like a dumbed down version of the Super Nintendo version. I feel like this again is probably one of those things that I just played a little bit of because emulators existed back in the day.
Yeah. Cause that's what they were doing on Game Boy Color. Like they had like Super Mario Brothers and like Mario Brothers 2 and stuff like that come on there. And it's like, hey, Game Boy Color. Yeah. And it's in color.
But it's still not quite what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness came on the Dreamcast. I think we mentioned this game before probably on the PlayStation, and now it's a Dreamcast version. Also, F1 Championship Season 2000 came on the PlayStation. See, sports game, this is the height of like sports games. We can have so many. Like F1 was his own game. I mean, I think it's only one that I could think of that's an F1 game now. But, I mean, they had that. You had NASCAR. Like, EA had NASCAR, F1, football, the collegiate sports, too.
Yeah.
Basketball, hockey, soccer for FIFA. I mean, it was just crazy. It's about the sports, probably sports, too, or something they had. I mean, I think even motocross, league and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy how many sports games. And then different companies had those versions, too. They had to compete with them.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy how that was back then, man. It was like the Wild Wild West, man. It's the Wild West in games, man. What else we got? We got Harvest Moon, Back to Nature, came out for the PlayStation. I guess it's probably a sequel to the Harvest Moon series. Yeah. I didn't even know what it was then. Even at this time, I didn't know what Harvest Moon was. Mm-hmm. But now I know it's just kind of like what, like you just,
Stardew,
Stardew Valley, basically. Okay.
Yeah, I like playing those. That's another one that I played a lot on the emulators. Like the Game Boy versions of Harvest Moon games. They were always fun, which is why I was surprised I didn't get as hooked into Stardew as quickly as you did. Yeah, and it looks like Back to Nature is like when they were in like 3D and nice little like an isolated perspective, but still more than just sprites on a background.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. We got Speedball 2100 came out for the PlayStation. This is another Speedball was a series that came out. I forgot what system, but it's old. And Like, it's been a few Speedballs that came out. This is just another variation of it. And this reminds me when I saw it played, it reminds me of Griffball on Halo.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's just like you're wearing these special suits, that's futuristic, and you gotta throw a ball into a goal. Like, you're on teams, just like in Griffball, you gotta throw a ball to the goal. The other person's goal. While in Griffball, I think you just like drop the bomb basically on their goal and it blows up. That's what it is. But it's just Speedball to me. So I was like, oh, so Griffball is not original. Well, I mean, it's a simple game. It's a simple game anyway. I mean, of course, it's not original, but yeah. What else we got here? We got Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. This is the N64 version. Now I'm confused because this came out on PlayStation also, but when you look at the box art, Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, it has only on N64, only for N64. And when I look at, I'm thinking at first I was thinking like maybe it was, and then it got released later on PlayStation. But when I look at the release dates, which I mean, Wikipedia is not legit.
Yeah.
It shows that it came out before the N64 version.
Oh, weird.
So I'm like, okay, something is wrong here. I don't know. But it's just a beat 'em up, man. He is blocky as hell. Like, I mean, the cartoon
I
was.
remember that.
I mean, the cartoon is kind of blocky, but man, I mean, his shoulders are very long and like they can just.
His torso
poke
was
you, man.
one triangle.
Yeah, it was a triangle.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, goodness gracious. All right. What else we got here? Oh, Virtua Fighter 2 was released 20 years ago on the Sega Saturn, man, in Japan. So
nice.
This is the first time Sega's Virtua Fighter 2 was on a home console.
Yeah.
Man, that was a great game. And it's funny, I was just talking about this game last week, playing on Yakuza.
Exactly.
All right. What else we got? We got Pokemon Puzzle Challenge for the Game Boy Color. What was this? You played this?
Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. I'm sure I did if it came out on the Game Boy Color, but I'm not. Let me see if the cover jogs my memory. Yeah, I'm sure I maybe touched this a little bit, but I didn't spend a lot of time with it. I think it's like I don't know, not Dr. Mario. I'm trying to think of which of those puzzle games. Not Tetris, not Dr. Mario. One of those ones where you're doing like the swapsies kind of move.
Swapsies?
Yeah, like your cursor is 2 blocks wide or 2 blocks high, and you're just flipping things to move them around the board.
Right.
Like you're moving 2 pieces at a time kind of thing.
Okay.
Panel de Pan or Puzzle League is what it's saying on Wiki the series is based off of. And yeah, there was a 64 version, Pokemon Puzzle League that came out earlier this year, actually. Or no. Yeah. In 2000 in September.
Okay. I probably mentioned it and I still remember. All right. So what else we got here? We got another Game Boy Color released. Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour. I guess it's just like maybe it's a kart racing game on the Game Boy Color. Also, we have Warriors of Might and Magic on the PlayStation version released. I think this was. I don't know if this was an RPG like the other Warriors of Might and other Might and Magic games. But maybe I think it is. Yeah, I think it's an action RPG. It's just a side story to it.
Okay.
To that thing. Yeah, Might and Magic was a game. Yeah, I always see those games. A lot, man. There used to be a whole lot of them, like just different ones. Also, 20 years ago, Xbox Game Studios has acquired Digital Anvil and folds it into its internal Microsoft Game Studio system.
That name sounds familiar. Brute Force. Okay. That makes sense. And then went on to do nothing.
They did Brute Force, saying, yeah, that was it. Oh, well, some game called Starlancer or Freelancer, which were just PC games. But Brute Force is the one I really know about. All right, another Game Boy Color game. Man, the Game Boy Color games are coming out in Christmas.
Oh, yeah, man. That was just the quick cash-in.
Yeah, it really is. The Powerpuff Girls Paint the Townsville Green. I'm guessing the gang green grain. gang, probably fighting them.
Yeah, I think so. Or was there like a time where what's her name became evil?
I don't know. You talking about Buttercup?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I remember playing this one on emulators.
I used to like that show. That show was funny.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got here? We got Evil Dead: Hail to the King. The PlayStation version came out. Didn't know what this was. I'd always seen it. I always figured it was like a horror game, like a scary game.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I guess it's somewhat horror, but I think it's pretty silly too.
Yeah.
Let's go. Grandia 2 came out for the Dreamcast. This is an RPG I've seen in magazines. I was always interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And I like
Fantasy Killer.
to play. Yeah, yeah. It was like that in Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah.
Like, I would see that for the Dreamcast. I was like, oh, man, they got some nice RPGs up here. All right. What else we got? The Prince of Persia 3D Dreamcast version came out.
I think I played the demo of that on the PC and did not think it was very good.
Oh, what was wrong with it? It was just... What was wrong? Was this like actual 3D? Like
I think it was actual 3D. Yeah, I think that's when they transition. Let me see.
Oh,
could be wrong.
I was just thinking 3D, but it's still doing side scrolling shit.
No, I feel like this was when they went like full Tomb Raider. And that's what it felt like. This is when it was like full third person. Yeah, I don't remember.
Before they did the Sands of Time.
Yep.
All right, so last but not least for the 2000s, we have Sim Theme Park. Came on a PlayStation 2, and I played this game of the summer of 2001. Got it from Blockbuster, played the shit out of that game. Because I love sim games. I played some Roller Coaster Tycoon, but I was like, man, now I got the PlayStation. It's like, oh, this is even better because I can ride the rides. Like, you can have the camera on, like you're on the rides.
Right.
Your little kid screaming, like, on the roller coaster, man. Oh, man, I used to love it. Everything was really simple, though. You couldn't do anything like Roller Coaster Tycoon very detailed or anything, but it was good enough for me. It was good enough for me on the PlayStation 2. All right, so we got a few games that came out 25 years ago, too. And here's one, The 11th Hour for the Windows. Now, the reason I put this game up here because this is the game my dad had. Okay. This was the sequel to Seventh Guest, which was a popular puzzle horror game. Mm-hmm. And he got the 11th Hour. 11th Hour, both games, I did not know how to play. I didn't understand them. I didn't know what you're supposed to do. It was like, this is like too hard for my mind, for my very young mind at the time. But my dad was playing these games. But I remember seeing some scary stuff happen. Not really super scary, though. But I remember, like, walking around a house in Seventh Guest seeing a ghost. 11th Hour, I remember... I don't remember some things. I had to look at some videos, and I remember, like, seeing some things start coming to mind. But I don't have a big memory of this one compared to Seventh Guest. But I do remember when I saw it, I said, oh, yeah, I remember my dad got this. And it was popular. It's one of those popular PC games. Mm-hmm. Also, the best mascot ever. And one of the best platformers ever had came out.
Blinks didn't come out that long.
Oh, Blinks. Came out 25 years ago. No, not Blinks. Gex.
Oh, boy.
Gex came out 25 years ago on the PlayStation, Sega Saturn. You know what? I never played 1. I played 2. I paid the shit out of 2, though.
Yeah.
Because I had that on PlayStation, because I got it for cheap. It was like in a bargain bin or something, and my dad got it for me. But, yeah, Gex, I mean, it was cool. He looked like a cool little lizard. I was like, oh, look a gecko.
And his ads always had hot women standing with him.
Yep. And I liked it because, especially liked it, see, 2 I really got into because that's when I first had a leopard gecko. So I was like, oh, I got a leopard gecko as a pet. And so I play Gex. And I was like, oh, this is a different kind of gecko, though. He's green and he can talk. So I wish mine could talk. That's what I thought to me. But yeah, Gex came out 25 years ago. Also, 25 years ago, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest came out in the United States 25 years ago. So one of the best Donkey Kong games, which I think some people they call this like the best one out of the three. I think some people consider it.
Yeah.
And also Virtual Fighter 2. Wait a minute. That is a mistake. I take that back. Unless that was 25 years ago. You know what? That was a mistake, Dan.
Oh, was it 25 years ago?
Yeah, that makes more sense. Wow. That does make more sense. Because I don't think it was that many Dream... Yeah, that was way too late for Virtual Fighter 2 in 2000. Yeah, that was a little too late. Yeah, my fault. 25 years ago, Virtual Fighter 2 came out in Japan.
No wonder I was so impressed with the graphics.
Yeah. Yeah, because I said 2000. Yeah, 2000? Yeah, it came out the same year as the PlayStation 2. Yeah, nah. That doesn't make any sense. The Dreamcast was out. Why the hell is Virtual Fighter 2 coming out on the Sega Saturn when the Dreamcast was out? My bad. Yep, Virtual Fighter 2 came out 25 years ago in Japan on the Sega Saturn. So it came out to home consoles. So yeah, so that is it for the flashback segment of the games portion. But it's a new month. And so every month we go through what was on the cover on these years. So starting with 2010, we're going to start with Game Informer. And they had a special year-end cover where Game of the Years, all the games that came out that year. And so they had Halo, it's a nice little painted sculpture. Not a sculpture, a little painting of the characters of old timey kind of painting of Torian all the gaming characters. So, actually, I don't know if it's just games that came out that year.
Yeah, because they got Jade game from Beyond Good and Evil in there.
Yeah, they got Jade. They got Psychonauts, dude. Little Psyche, that's his name. Little Psyche, right?
Yep.
Raz. Raz.
Rasputin.
You got Master Chief. You got Shepard, or Dominic Shepard is what I like to call him. You also got Kratos on another, this. It's like three covers.
And you have Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright in the background too.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's there in a picture in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, and they have Alex.
Yeah.
From
Half-Life.
And they got Assassin's Creed Man.
That's
and they got John Marston from Red Dead.
Who is the lady though? That's
from Nathan Drake. So,
okay,
wife,
I was going to say is
Chloe.
Is it Chloe?
Not Chloe.
Elena?
Yeah, Elena. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not his wife yet. We'll know if it's going to be his wife by this cover came out.
Well, I knew.
And what's that king name? And
King
Katamari?
of all Cosmos, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks nice. These are nice covers. This is pretty cool. All right. So that was Game Informer. So now we're going down to Electronic Gaming Monthly. And we got Gears of War 3 on the front.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting a not Brewmac. What's that woman called? What's that lady?
Oh, is that what it is?
Locust.
Shoot.
Damn.
I don't remember her name.
The
Berserker?
Berserker, yes.
Yeah. It's like a mutated one. She's got a bear face or something.
Oh, that's right. I think they are the mutated ones.
Lambent Berserker or something, maybe.
They got, what else they got up here? They got Tim Schafer, the EGM interview. Oh, they interviewed Tim Schafer. Also, they have Made in Japan, reinventing Devil May Cry, and a new wave of games. What else they got here? Nintendo 3DS, the latest updates. Oh, yeah. Exclusive info, Fight Night Champion. Now, that was a good game. Fight Night Champion was a good game. Plus Homefront. Yeah, the 2010 Holiday Buyer's Guide. What's it say? Get 4 issues of EGM Weekly magazine. Oh, okay. That's a promotion. All right. So what else we got? Let's see here. We got GamePro. And they got, looks like Diablo 3. Wow, Diablo 3 on this cover 10 years ago. I mean, that game is still, I mean, now we're waiting for 4. But the 4 is about to come out. But I mean, that game's been going on for years. Over a decade.
Yeah.
For about a decade. The most anticipated fear-based titles, including Dead Space 2, Resident Evil Revelations, Dracula's Legacy in digital entertainment.
Fear-based titles. That's such a funny way to put that.
That's what I'm about to say. Also, they got up top, they got GamePro's Holiday Gift Guide. Yeah, you're going to see this on a lot of these magazines. Batman Arkham City, Doom 4. Oh, Doom 4.
Doom 4, which became Doom, right?
Did Doom 4 become Doom, or did it come Rage?
You're right. I think it might have became Rage. For a lot of the concepts, at least, did, yeah.
BioShock Infinite.
Heck yeah.
And look, another thing by Tim Schafer in this magazine, too. Tim Schafer explores Halloween and costume quests.
Yeah. Well, I guess because they were releasing Costume Quest, and Tim Schafer is available for all of the interviews.
All right. So what else we got here? We got Nintendo Power. We got Donkey Kong Country Returns on the front.
Yeah.
And you got Golden Sun, Dark Dawn.
Golden Sun needs to return, Dominic.
Did you like Golden Sun?
I liked the first one on Game Boy Advance is the one I probably played the most, but it was very much like...
It's an RPG, right?
Yeah, it was very much like classic Final Fantasy VII for me, you know, turn-based battles, running around an overworld kind of thing. But like they attempted
it's funny
to
you
do
say Final Fantasy VII.
Well, they
Final Fantasy
attempted to do 3D graphics
it was real
and
time?
stuff.
It was real time?
Oh, you mean as far as like counting down? You know, I want to say maybe. I feel like maybe it did have like a time thing.
Yeah, that's what to say. Because like active time battle. I mean,
yeah,
like because fantasy, if you don't hit the button, they'll hit you. They'll hit. I keep hitting you. But what else we got here? We got Rock Band 3, Kirby's Epic Yarn, Super Scribblenauts. And it's cut off up here, but it says something about Sonic Colors review
Sonic
inside
Colors,
or something like that.
First review.
All right. So what else we got here? We got the Xbox magazine. And we got the sexy Locust Queen on the front. Woo!
My favorite.
Look at that body. Look at that body.
That's when we thought we were actually going to learn something in that game, Dominic.
Yeah. It is. Oh, holy first look at Batman is back. Oh, yeah, for Arkham City. Oh, let's say all new multiplayer revealed. It's chainsaw time.
Yeah, it is.
And Duke Nukem, The Legend Lives On 360.
The Legend did not live on the 360.
No, it did not. Dead Space 2, hands-on with the killer new mode.
What would that have been?
What was the multiplayer mode in that?
Killer new mode.
I think there was. I think it was what you could be the what were they called? What were their monsters called?
What were they called? I don't remember.
Here we go. Now we got the PlayStation magazine. So we go from Xbox to the PlayStation. And they have, well, they're still up the top. They still have PS3, PSP, and PlayStation 2. They have PlayStation 2 still up there.
They were covering it all, Dominic.
Yeah. And it's the most reviews ever, Daniel. 23 games were rated in this magazine.
23 games. Amazing. All one sentence each.
The big cover story was Infamous 2.
Heck yeah.
The world exclusive hands-ons. New city, new enemies, new powers.
I like that game a lot.
Also, Need for Speed, Star Wars.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, PS3 Essentials, Homefront. No, it's not. Batman. I think the PS3 Essentials is separate from the Homefront. I'm going to say
that would make more
Batman,
sense because then Need for Speed would also be separate from Star Wars.
Yeah. You know what? Now I get it. Yeah, because I was really like, what's the Need for Speed Star Wars? That's what it should have been. It should have been one. It just should have made. They gotta make Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Yeah. I mean, EA should have just taken every one of their properties and put Star Wars in it. That's pretty much what they did for Battlefield and Battlefront. So just do it for Need for Speed, do it for Madden, do it for FIFA.
Do it for Medal of Honor.
Exactly. A single
yeah,
player.
you could be a Clone Wars, like the Clone Wars.
Yeah, you can
you're a clone soldier.
The Clone Squad. Clone Squad. You know what I'm talking about. Shit. Whatever that
Republic
game
Commando?
is called. Yeah, Republic Commando. That'd be a cool new one.
All right, of course they got Batman Arkham City. That's what everybody's got. Mass Effect 2. Brilliant sci-fi epic hits PS3. Yep, they finally get Mass Effect on the PlayStation. And Call of Duty Black Ops. Better than Modern Warfare. It's a hot take.
I don't know about
It's
that.
a hot take then. Well, some people do. Some people do like it better. All right, let me get back to the screen here. And, that was it. That was the last one for 2010. So, now we're going back 20 years to look at these cold covers. And we got Game Informer first. And we got Red Factions on the front. Oh, man. Red Faction, when I played it, I think my friend had the game. And he let me borrow it because he said, oh, man, this game is so cool, man. He said, you can just go through walls and everything. I said, man, let's see what you mean by that. Oh, my God. I was just drilling through walls, man. Just like going to other areas. Just going through the environments. I mean, that was so cool then because I never seen a game do that.
Yeah.
I never seen a game unless you were cheating and clipping through walls. I never seen where you could just bust through a wall. Like, you could just destructibility of the environment. It's like, oh, man, the floor is messed up now. It's like, oh, look at the wall. It's actually real, like, bullets going through. And I could go through the wall. And I could blow it up and go through this. I don't have to go through the door. Like, the destructibility was so cool then, man. It was like, that's when I really knew, like, this is next gen.
Yeah.
This is next gen right here. All right, it says Red Faction, THQ's first-person evolution electrifies PS2 and PC. Also, they got up the top says Final Fantasy 9 walkthrough inside. Okay. PlayStation traders. Microsoft recruits heavy hitters to fuel Xbox fire. I wonder who did Microsoft pick up from PlayStation around this time?
I don't know.
Yeah. WWF versus WCW. Oh, WCW was still alive, man. They were still alive. Who's the king of the ring? The first reviews of SmackDown 2. No Mercy and Backstage Assault. Well, I can tell you Backstage Assault lost.
It was WWF easily, yes.
Pokemon Silver and Gold. Silver and Gold. Silver and Gold. Something. Christmas, blah, blah. All right. Uncover locations for new Pokemon. Learn evolution techniques and participate in time events from with our amazing strategy guide. All right, Twisted Metal Black. Yes, I couldn't wait for this game. Got this game. Game was great. My favorite Twisted Metal. The story of the characters was so dark, man. It was like, this was cool. Like, it was fun as hell. And destructibility in this game was great. Like, I liked when you go into the town and they have Mario go around and you can shoot it and then it's rolling through town, rolling over houses and shit. Then you got one where you're on like a prison ship and then you crash into then you crash into land and then you get into prison shooting up shit. I mean, man, that game was fun as hell.
Yeah.
God, I loved it. Sweet Tooth stalks to PS2 and Sony's Sinister sequel. Yeah, Sweet Tooth was scary as shit. Like, I'm gonna see his backstory. Oh my god. Like, that's a scary motherfucker. Alright. Also, how to get what you want. Holiday Sam illustrates methods to trick your parents into buying the perfect gift. Oh, that's good. Plastic Fantastic, an exclusive look at upcoming Resident Evil, Zelda, Space Channel 5, and EverQuest toys. Yep, those expensive figurines I just never got. All right, you know what? I didn't do PC Gamer for 2010. I don't know why.
There were no PC games.
All right, so this is PC Gamer 2000. The world's... Oh, they're covering it. I can't read it, Daniel, so I don't know what it means. The world's what? I see the world's B. I don't know what it's going to say. Oh, well.
Best PC game magazine. Spoilers, Dominic.
Web World War. How new online games you simply... Hot new online games you simply must play. 20 of them.
There are not that many online games. Who are they kidding, Dominic?
Yeah, now how many of those 20 games are still here today?
PlanetSide definitely isn't.
Yeah, the world's first massive multiplayer first-person shooter, PlanetSide. I remember seeing this. People like from the creators of EverQuest. Oh, look, they got a first-person shooter, massive multiplayer game. This is going to be huge. And I think did it do well initially? I have no idea.
I think initially it did all right, but wasn't like blockbuster like it should have been. Maybe.
Yeah, it was a Destiny before Destiny. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know what the rules were. PlanetSide. Did they have quests? It was the
mag before mag, Dominic.
Oh, okay. Also, is it just a game or is it real? Majestic. Oh. And complete reviews and strategies on Baldur's Gate 2 and Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. And this is the CD-ROM edition, apparently.
Yeah. So that means I could only look at it digitally.
Also, they have a holiday buyer's gift guide.
Shocking, Dominic. Shocking.
Yeah. Man, you know what? I found it. I just didn't put it up here for you. The PC Gamer one. I'll put it up there now for 2010. Okay, we're going to flash forward a little bit, 10 years to go back to PC Gamer.
Woo!
Yes, Guild Wars 2 is on the cover on the 2010 PC Gamer magazine.
Talking about massively multiplayer games. Guild Wars was big for quite a while.
And people still playing Guild Wars 1 because one of those people I know, my dad, he's still playing Guild Wars 1.
Nice.
Like I think he tried out Guild Wars 2 and he just said, nah, I'm okay, but stick with 1. Because every now and then I hear him talk about, say, I just got online, played with some people. They said, people always trying to clan up, and I say, nope, I just want to play by myself. I was just like, God, Dad, I said, you're not even playing it right. You're supposed to play with groups of people and stuff. He said, no.
He's a man that knows what he likes, Dominic. I respect that.
Yeah, so they Guild Wars 2 on the front, world exclusive. BioShock Infinite, the world's first tour. Also, The Matrix meets Blade Runner in Deus Ex Human Revolution. Plus, the most terrifying game of the year. Oh, what was it? We got to read the magazine to find out, I guess.
Inside, exactly.
All right, so now we're going back 20 years again. Now we're going to Nintendo Power to look at one of your favorite games, Banjo-Tooie on the front.
I remember this magazine. I might even still have it somewhere. There was a while there where I was getting rid of stuff, but I might still have that one there.
The hell is this, Dan? WCW beats WWF?
You know what? I don't know. Maybe it was just saying like, oh, we have Backstage Assault No Mercy was the second game, so it wouldn't be like, hey, the people who made the WCW game are now making the WWF game. Yeah, I wonder. I'm thinking it must have just been like Backstage Assault and No Mercy reviews or something like that.
Hey, what's the voodoo man name in Banjo-Tooie?
Mojo Jojo? No, not Mojo Jojo. Shit. Damn it, Dominic.
Jujumon? What else we got? We got exclusive strategies for all these games. Also, power previews of Mario Tennis and Paper Mario. Did you play Mario Tennis on N64?
Mumbo Jumbo. Yeah, I think I played a little bit, like at a buddy's house or something, like you got it from Blockbuster or something, but I never owned it.
Okay. How about Paper Mario?
Paper Mario, I don't know that I even played it on the 64 at all. I don't think I came back to that until
GameCube talk yet.
GameCube, yeah.
They keep it no GameCube talk yet. They keep it quiet. They say we don't let PlayStation have their thunder. We're going to come out strong with the $200 little purple box.
Or little lunch box. that I could walk into a store on the first day, Dominic, and buy, unlike all these fucking new generation consoles.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to GamePro 2000.
There's just so much on this cover.
It's a lot of shit on this cover.
Vomit.
Final Fantasy IX is the big thing on the cover, but sprinkled with a lot of other shit. You got top games for holidays. You got the Zelda Majora's Mask. Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore. Yeah, hardcore.
Oh, yeah, hardcore.
And Game Boy Color, Pokemon, Gold and Silver. They also got Driver 2 in the latest issue. And World Is Not Enough. Spiral the Year of the Dragon. I believe that's the third game of the PlayStation. And Shenmue and WWF No Mercy.
Oh, yeah.
Also Time Splitters, which is a very popular game, even though I never got it. I never got it, but people loved it. Also, a free collector's comic book inside of Spider-Man.
Nice.
Also, Crimson Skies. Oh, yeah, that flight game. That arcade game. PC Game Pro. You got Blair Witch.
Crazy.
There was a Blair Witch game?
Yeah.
Darn. Star Trek Voyager Elite Force.
Ship fighting.
And there's some strategies of Dino Crisis 2, Medal of Honor, Underground, and it looks like a Street Fighter, but they're blocking it off here. All right. So, what does it say? Watch GamePro Minutes, a daily streaming video program on GamePro.com. Oh, man, I don't know if my internet service would let me run that back then. It'll probably take so long to load up and shit. All right. So now we're looking at the unofficial PlayStation magazine here.
Going underground.
And here it is. Here is the big Zelda killer that came out, that was coming out to the PlayStation 2. I was ready for it, Dan.
I was afraid, Dominic. I was like, are they actually going to beat Zelda? They can't beat Zelda, right?
Dark Cloud. And I can tell you this, from borrowing this game for Blockbuster, finally getting this potential Zelda killer, I was highly disappointed.
Is it better than Breath of the Wild, though?
Yeah. It's like, no, I ain't gonna say that. It was a game. It just didn't have my interest.
Yeah.
Like, I like the whole mechanic of you going to dungeons and then you take it back stuff to build your town. Mm-hmm. Like, I like the whole sim thing of you building a town, like Sim City or something, or I guess like Sim Village, I guess it would be. Because it's like a village. That was cool. But the dungeons were so boring. That's the problem for me. It was just so boring looking. Now, I don't know if the dungeons were they, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like randomly generated?
Yeah, randomly generated. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I'm not sure if they were. I want to say it was, but I'm not sure. But the thing is, they were just like boring. Like you're in a dark dungeon. It's like nothing very distinct about it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I got bored of it. I mean, but when Dark Cloud 2 came out, that was really fun. I really liked that one.
Yeah.
That was fun as hell. I think I beat that game. I just don't remember it, but I did beat that game. But yeah, Dark Cloud 1, yeah, I was disappointed because I was really waiting for this because they kept showing this game off. I was like, okay. Had some like, I didn't think it was no Zelda killer. I don't think I had this magazine, so I'd never seen it as like a Zelda killer. I just have it like compared to it though. It's like Zelda meets Sims or something. Mm-hmm. That's what I always saw, like that. So I was like, okay, have something like Zelda on the PlayStation 2. That's awesome. Nah, it was not. It was not a Zelda thing. It was a very okay game. It was a potential for future great games, put it like that. And this is like one of Level 5's first games. I ain't gonna say that. That's a lot. I have no idea if this is the first game. This is the first time I knew who Level 5 was, put it like that. I think Level 5 did this one. I know they did too. Hold up. Let me make sure. Dark Cloud. Yes, they were. They were developers. So this is this is the first game I knew from them. This is when they were working under Sony Entertainment. So this is one of the early games because it was only found in 1998. So yeah. It could have been his first game. All right. So what else we got here? We also got It says, finally, the full story on Sony's amazing PS2 adventure with exclusive screens and new info. Talking about Dark Cloud. Okay. The biggest holiday games reviewed. All the games we talked about. Even NFL Game Day 2001.
Yeah, man. Talk about competition for Madden.
Yeah. SSX secret shortcuts. You know what? Yeah. SSX did have those shortcuts. I only knew about 2 of them. But my friend, I think my cousin knew more of them. That's why he would beat me. So, also, hot games. Silent Hill 2, The Bouncer, Gran Turismo 3, Twisted Metal Black. Yeah, The Bouncer was that Square Enix game. I think it was one of Square Enix's first games on the PlayStation 2. It was an action. Mm-hmm. It was an action beat 'em up game, and the character looks like Sora, like a grown up Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Which in reality, Sora looks like him in reality.
Right.
Or actually, you know what? He was the main character was a mix of Sora and Tidus from Final Fantasy X. So actually, when I saw Final Fantasy X, I was like, he looks like the guy from The Bouncer. And then when I saw Sora, it's like he looks like a younger guy from The Bouncer and Final Fantasy X. So Silent Hill 2, though. I mean, this is a game that I played very little of, as in I played the beginning until something scared me, then I stopped. But it looks good. At the time, that game looked so good. When I saw the previews for that game, I was like, wow, this game looks good. Like, this looks like a really good-looking game. But it scared the shit out of me. This thing's looking more real, Daniel. It makes it worse for me. Like, I don't like it when it looks real. Look blocky. Let's keep looking blocky like Resident Evil on the PlayStation. All right. What else we got here? We got the official PlayStation magazine. And they have Crash Bash on the front. With like Crash and with his mouth being Bash. All right. So what else they got in here? They got hot new PS2 titles. Gran Turismo 3. Twisted Metal Black. The Bandicoot's Final Party. Crash Bash. So I guess it's like that's his final game on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And also you have Time Splitters, Solid Scope. These are the games that they reviewed. Orphan. Excuse me. FIFA 2001. Smuggler's Run. I played that. I actually have that game. Midnight Club. Summoner. Tekken Tag Tournament. Yeah, Summoner I talked about before. Smuggler's Run was that game. Like I guess you had to waste the time on the clock. You smuggling stuff. Unfortunately, more smuggling people like I wanted to be.
Yeah, wasn't it like dune buggy kind of racing type thing?
Yeah, it was on the fields and things of that nature. And it was made by Rockstar, so this is like the early before this is for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
What else you got here? You got history of console launches. How does the PlayStation 2 launch stack up? And then Shaq, an exclusive interview with the star of NBA Hoops with the Z. All right, and we have the last magazine here. I added this one. I wanted to check this out. I remember this Next Gen magazine, which is just Edge for the US. Edge is European. So they had world exclusive Crash Bandicoot on PlayStation 2 on this one. Yeah. So they go on the next generation. There you go. That's the magazine, sis. Surfs Up, PlayStation 2's next wave. Not impressed with PlayStation 2? We revealed the games that will redefine the system in 2001, including Silent Hill 2, Dark Cloud, The Getaway. Oh, The Getaway. Oh, man. Twisted Metal Black and Legion and Devil May Cry. And The Getaway didn't come out till after Grand Theft Auto 3. Because I think that was a game that's been delayed. Like, that was so much production in that. Like, it was like done like a movie. Yeah. And then they really used the technology for back then, like to have the face mapping of the real actors in the game. It was supposed to be like some of those London, movies, was like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yep. Snatch.
And Snatch. Yeah, it's supposed to be something like that. It was supposed to be along those lines. I think I played a demo maybe of it. I never played the game. I wanted to. But when I saw the reviews were like 7s. They weren't great, and I was like, man, it's not Grand Theft Auto. And I was just saying, it's like, if this game would have came out before Grand Theft Auto, I heard about this game before Grand Theft Auto. If this game would have came out before Grand Theft Auto, I think I would have gave it a bigger shot. Also, Devil May Cry. Yep, waiting for that game. The game that was Resident Evil. Yep, this is the new PS2 adventure from the creator of Resident Evil. Plus, new pics of Metal Gear Solid 2, live from Tokyo Game Show, and Xbox. Big in Japan? ?
No.
And massive review explosion of all these games. Zelda Majora's Mask, Final Fantasy 9, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Tekken Tag Tournament, Baldur's Gate 2, I should say, Shenmue, Star Trek Voyager, Elite Force. And so, Electronic Gaming Monthly for the year 2000. You have on the front, Unreal Tournament, PC Game of the Year, hits the PlayStation 2 and Sega Net. Wow, Sega Net. And, man, it won't be up there that long. Oh, saying that. But, hey, look, I mean, they were starting out the consoles going online. I mean, this is when they start really becoming the new norm.
Absolutely.
This is the very early stages of it.
They pioneered that stuff.
Yeah. Also, you got 55 new reviews. Okay, it's all the games we talked about before. Also, Castlevania for Dreamcast. What happened? Oh, I guess it never happened.
Happened was Castlevania 64.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like, don't it? 75 previews, including Daytona USA, NBA 2K1, Paper Mario, Crash Bash, Mega Man X5, Dragon Warrior 7. Oh, man, Dragon Warrior 7. That's the one I never played. I wish they would re-release it. Or actually, it'll be like a double re-release, because they did re-release it again for the PlayStation 2. Silent Hill 2, and Gran Turismo 3. And that is it. That is it for the flashback segment. As I close out all my tabs I just fucking opened here. So, we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get into the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Let's get into the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic, now that all the Marvel fun is over for Fortnite, that ended the beginning of this month, the first with a huge Galactus event, which apparently got quite a large number of concurrent players. I think their biggest number of concurrent players, which is impressive for Fortnite. Now they're looking towards the next season, and along with that, we are getting skins such as the Mandalorian, along with a little child to go along with him. And also, big one, Dominic, Kratos from the latest God of War iteration. And he's not going to be exclusive to the PlayStation. You can play with Kratos on any of the Fortnite platforms you want.
Oh, my God.
So
that'll probably break the Xbox or the Switch.
That's pretty big. And along with that, you're going to get, what is his name? Mir, the guy, Mir, the head that was attached to your back during the game.
Oh, yeah,
belt.
yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a bling item. And,
that's a bling item.
Yeah. Flare, if you will.
Now, before you go on, is this like how it is with what's that game called I play on PlayStation? Fall Guys.
No, I don't believe so. At least for Kratos. Like, I'm pretty sure Kratos, you can just go into the shop, spend your 1,500 V-Bucks, and get that skin whenever you want. I don't think it's he's only going to be available on Tuesday at 2 o'clock kind of thing. Yeah, so, yeah, you're just going to be able to buy Kratos along with the stuff. His axe, of course, will also be an item in the game. It's just going to be weird seeing Kratos carrying around a gun, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
I didn't think about that. Like, sure, like pickaxe, whatever. But yeah, everybody in Fortnite gets a gun. One person you wouldn't be surprised to see with a gun, Dominic, who may be coming to the game. We've seen some leaks Also, some information out of a data mine suggests that Master Chief will also be coming to Fortnite. How exciting is that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to get. I mean, you get exclusives from 2 companies.
Yeah,
that people
but
can just
at the
pick
same
up.
time, they're not exclusive, which is kind of cool, right? Like, I can play as Master Chief on my PlayStation and play as Kratos on the Xbox. More so than me just playing emulators.
Nintendo needs to get like Waluigi or something.
They gotta get somebody. Like, we were talking about this, and like, it's gonna be weird seeing pretty much any of those characters running around with a gun.
Especially like Mario, I guess you could have a person with a Mario outfit on because it'll be the elongated Mario that you saw on Mario Maker.
Exactly.
But yeah, because they got to be a certain height. They got to be, yeah. Unfortunately for this type of game, it has to be that way. Or it'll look weird. Or it'll be like, hey, the hitbox is actually
it's unfair.
Like a few feet ahead of
yeah,
the hitbox would be a few feet ahead of
head.
you. Yeah, it's above your head. You'd be dying like, hey, I ain't see it hit me. But, yeah, so either that or some other Nintendo character, like you were saying, Samus. But Samus always seems to have that gun on her. But I mean, they can have it where it's just her hands.
Yeah.
She don't have the gun. She just has to hold it. Or Zero Suit Samus. But I don't think Samus with the costume on.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I'm trying to think of the other character that
Yoshi.
can fit that mold.
I just want Yoshi with a gun. Stretch him out, give him a gun, put him in that game. Yeah, Star Fox, maybe?
Maybe.
Although he's a little shorter than everybody.
Yeah, he is usually a little shorter.
You make a tall, sexy Star Fox, Dominic.
The only thing is like Captain Falcon, but they don't even make F-Zero anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, he's a Smash Brothers character at this point, right? Like,
yeah.
It'll be interesting, though. I hope they do something. I hope they figure out something, because I will say, like, Fortnite has a good aesthetic look to it, and like, even this Kratos looks neat. I like him. I like the way he looks. Yeah, Fortnite stuff happening, Dominic. We also got some news on Persona 5 Scramble, Phantom Strikers. That's coming out for the PS4, Switch, and PC on February 23rd, 2021.
And that's like the Dynasty Warriors version
hack and slash, yep.
Yeah, Persona 5.
Muso Games, is that what they're called?
Yeah, I'm interested in this. Definitely want to see how this goes over here.
It worked for Zelda, why not Dynasty Warriors, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We'll see how that goes. And some other news, Dominic. This is an interesting one. Oscar Isaac is reportedly...
You mean not Persona 5? You said Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Although they should do a Persona-esque Zelda game, Dominic. Give me that.
Maybe.
Or not. Just give me a Zelda game, Dominic. Just give me good old-fashioned Zelda-esque Zelda.
When do you think Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out?
2021. I'll say next year.
Good God.
2021. 2021. No, I'll say holiday next year.
Okay.
I think they could pull it together.
Is it going to be? Well, now how's it going to be? Is it going to be you can play
run
it
like
on
shit
both
on
systems?
our Switches and going to be awesome on the next gen Switch that's coming out at the beginning of next year? No, I hope that's not the case. I mean, unfortunately, like we already saw how Breath of the Wild runs on there, and it has its failings. So, it'll probably run like that, and then if they have a new powerful Switch, you'll say, "Oh, look, it's running better." Instead of more consistent frame rate. I would hope so, or they'll go the opposite direction and make it higher graphics, and then still runs real bad some places. They're like, look, we've got ray tracing in there now. It's like we never asked for this.
No.
I will say like playing Control on the whatchamacallit on the Switch, and it was streaming obviously, so that's something. But yeah, playing it on the PC now, like natively, there's definitely quite a bump there.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, I'm also comparing like a 720 switch screen to a 1440p monitor that I've got.
Yeah.
So,
I keep talking about handheld. It's like the system can be played on the TV. So I'll keep saying that. So not everybody.
That's the only way I play it, Dominic. Yeah. All right, Dominic.
So what else we got?
We also got Oscar Isaac. He is reportedly going to be playing Solid Snake in a Metal Gear Solid movie.
Tell us what movies
out.
this guy was in.
He was the guy in Star Wars. He was Poe in Star Wars. He was also in Ex Machina. And what else has he been in? He was Llewyn Davis. Apocalypse? What's that?
Apocalypse in
right. He played
X-Men.
Oh, shit, yeah. I try and forget that, Dominic.
Oh.
Yeah. No, yeah, he was. He was Apocalypse in X-Men. What's interesting to me is because like I'm seeing people saying like, oh, I'm not particularly excited about this because they've been talking about a Metal Gear movie for about 20 years now. And that's, yeah, obviously. But
that's how I am.
To me, it's like they're actually coming through now. Like we're seeing set photos from an Uncharted movie. So I would not be surprised if we see this movie in the next 2 years. Now, does that make me excited? Not necessarily. Oscar Isaac is a good actor, so okay, I'm down with that choice. But honestly, just make a Metal Gear Solid fucking anime movie. And
that's what I'm saying, because it's so silly.
It is.
Like I wanted this, like, to me, when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, or even 1, just around that time, the height of Metal Gear Solid was Metal Gear Solid 2 for me. Like, that was like my pinnacle. Like, I was so into this franchise. I would love this. Like, yes, a movie. This is what I want, because this game is just like a movie. But now that I know the story of the game, I'm like, man, the story of the game is not that great. And, unless they just make a better story than the game, but they don't add all this some of the silly stuff that's in it that don't make much sense.
Yeah.
I'm just, like, it's whatever happens. Like, when it comes out, I'll wait till it's where I can watch it at home, which is probably, that's what it's going to be, maybe from now on. Who knows? But I'll wait till I'll be able to watch it on some of these streaming services or whatever. Or maybe I will buy it. I don't know. And just see how it is. Like, I'm not excited or I'm not poo-pooing it either. Like saying, oh, man, they don't need to do this or something. I'm like, whatever. Do what the hell you want to do. What the hell? I can't control. Like,
I'm interested to see how willing they are to commit to the ridiculousness that is Metal Gear Solid, or if they just end up making it kind of a more generic spy thriller kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what I imagined. As a kid, I always imagined the more generic, and I was okay with that.
Yeah.
But now that I think, like, man, I've seen some movies done some great shit. Like, that I couldn't imagine even then, that I'm like, this was some good movies, some action movies out there. Like, can you be better than that? Can you be better than those now?
Yeah.
Because at the time, I really nothing to compare it to. I was like, man, I had some things compared to, but I was like, oh man, they just do this. He's finding the hind. He's finding this helicopter, man, and then he's got the sniper wolf and all this stuff. It's like, what if they had this in the movie?
Yeah.
But we see movies that done some ridiculous shit. Look at the Fast series and shit like that. Look at the new James Bonds. Then you got someone that's more down to earth, but they're really good, like Born Identity,
or even like the more recent Mission Impossible.
Oh,
movies.
yeah, Mission Impossible has been really ridiculous. Yeah, you could just say like that. That's a lot of, that's like video game shit. So that's not a huge thing anymore. Like, I was like, they probably want to raise the bar. Not that they need to, but can it be a good movie? Can it be a good movie? Because that's all it is. Because I'm not the fan I was before. Like, I just want to see a good movie. So, hey, come out. Just like The Witcher. I wasn't into that, but it turned out to be an okay series. To be a pretty good series. Yeah. So, we'll see.
Yep. We will. And 2 to 7 years once it finally
I
comes
kind
out.
of wish it was more of a series, like someone said, than a movie. Because I want to hike you. If you, like you said, I don't think you can. You can pay like too closely to the game because you can't. How do you cram that into like a 2 hour?
Yeah,
movie?
there's just so much. Like that's what I was thinking while we were talking about this. Is like, I feel like each of those bosses could be dedicated to their own movie. You know, get a Sniper Wolf movie, get a whatever Raven movie, and that kind of thing, and then you lead up to the last one. You're gonna make a Metal Gear Solid MC or CU or whatever Marvel Metal Gear Solid Universe movie tie-in. Yeah. I think that's the case with a lot of things. Anything with any sort of deep lore, like, is probably better off in a series, and maybe that's why we're enjoying Mandalorian so much, because we're getting the ability to see some of these things that are more fan servicey, but also giving it time to breathe as its own thing. It's not just dumping them in over and over the same way, the movies do, because they have to fit it all in there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like the only movies that can make sense to just be like a movie, it's like Uncharted, because that's like a movie, really. Yeah. It's longer than a movie, because it's a video game. But basically, you could just edit shit out in that game as far as the story.
It's kind of like the Ratchet and Clank movie. It's like, oh, they just put the scenes from the movie in here and then put gameplay in between. But in reality, Uncharted is just a movie with gameplay in between. So take the gameplay out. Because he wouldn't be killing that many people in the movie. Yeah.
The many people you shoot and kill, he's not going to be killing that many soldiers in the fucking movie.
Exactly.
So it's not going to take that long. Those shootouts ain't going to be taking that long. It's not going to be as many as you play through in a game to stretch it out. That can be condensed to a movie.
Yeah. Definitely. So we'll see how that goes, Dominic. What do you think will release first? The Metal Gear Solid movie or Dead Island 2, which is supposedly still in development?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be Dead Island 2, but
okay. Do you think we see that in 2021, or is that still a ways off?
That's a good question. Do
we see Dying Light 2 first?
We better see Dying Light 2 next year. Like Dead Island 2. You know what? My fault. I'm getting confused with Dying Light, Daniel.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
You don't care about.
Yeah, a Dying Light. I'm thinking that's at the latest 2022. Mm-hmm. But Dead Island 2, I have no idea. No idea. Now my friend's into it because he's, like I said, he's just thinking about titles. He don't know about developers. So I keep telling him, like, the developer that you like is the one who made Dying Light. So Dead Island 2, I don't know.
Right.
If it's going to be as good.
Yeah.
That's just a title.
I do appreciate the fact that this basically came up because someone was pretty much saying that exact thing. Like, people are worried about Dead Island 2. Like, just buy Dying Light. It's great. And Dying Light 2 is going to be out sooner than Dead Island 2. And then Deep Silver Twitter's like,
crazy. They both came out between Dead Island.
Yeah.
There should have been a sequel. Like, Dying Light came out after Dead Island Riptide.
Yeah.
And Dead Island 2 has always been talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But then Dying Light came out. Dead Island 2 missed this whole fucking generation. Like, there's been no Dead Island game. It's just been the definitive editions or HD. Super HD. I don't know what you would call it.
The 4K.
There's going to be Super Maximum HD, I guess, now.
Exactly. Yeah,
so
it's wild.
It's crazy that game. Like, why is that going through development hell? Like, I'm thinking, like, what's going on, like, behind the scenes? It can't be the game itself. It's got to be the people.
Multiple times now, right?
Yeah, that's what it's got to be, because it can't be the game itself. I'm like, a game like that, I mean, unless you're doing something so groundbreaking, it doesn't seem like it should be that hard to make compared to like that style of game. Like, what are you doing in that game?
Yeah. Yes, we'll see in about 7 years, Dominic.
I want to be like they was gonna make like a Destiny some shit with that game. And it's gonna be it was gonna be a massive multiplayer zombie apocalypse game where you could just jump in and see other people too, and y'all might help people in this. They probably was trying to do something like that.
Now you're talking.
And then they killed it. And then they killed it when they realized, oh man, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah. I guess we'll see eventually.
All right, so what else we got?
All right, Dominic, in some other news, we got some shakeups at Naughty Dog. We got a whole bunch of promotions, in fact. We got Neil Druckmann, who has been like the game director for Last of Us. He is now a co-president at Naughty Dog, and the director of operations, Allison Mori, and co-director of programming, Christian Geierling, have also been promoted to vice presidents. I didn't know you could have multiple vice presidents, but apparently that's how that works.
Yep.
You know,
keep everybody happy.
All Neil Druckmann had to do was stab what's her name in the back and take her spot. Amy Hennig.
Oh, okay.
He just took that poor woman's spot, and now he's made it all the way to the top. No, I kid. It's actually really cool seeing this because, like, I think it's Game Informer that I was looking at that had just kind of a brief history of what, how he got to this role. And it's like he started as an intern that like helped program some of the early games and then made his way up the chain until he was like the designer of video games. And now he's a freaking co-president. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
It's an inspiring story, Dominic. We need a movie and a book about it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. In kind of the opposite direction, Dominic, we have both Casey Hudson, who has done this before, and Mark Dara leaving BioWare. So Mark Dara is actually the head of development on Dragon Age 4, because I wasn't aware of who he actually was, even though he's been around there for a long time. And of course, Casey Hudson, we've talked about before, leaving, coming back, running the studio, being the general manager now, and now he's departing. Is this a good sign, a bad sign, no sign at all?
I have no idea what this means.
Yeah.
I have no idea because, well, first of all, Casey Hudson coming back to BioWare, I thought at the time was like, oh man, it's a big deal. So, but then we got Anthem. Yeah. And then like Anthem turned out not to be that great. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what him coming back really did, or maybe was it going to be worse? I don't know.
Oh goodness.
But now he's just leaving again when they're actually making games that we want. We want another Dragon Age. They were working on that. They are rumored to be working on Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So
they say they're working on next Mass Effect, supposedly.
When is that going to fucking happen?
That's a good question. No time soon now that everybody's leaving that fucking studio.
And then they get the Mass Effect remaster coming out. So
yeah.
So now they're leaving. It's I don't know what it means, because it's not like if they were there, I had such big confidence. It was just because, like I said, I thought it was something, but Anthem turned out not to be that great, and I don't know. I mean, good luck to those guys to wherever they go to. Yeah. But I hope BioWare. But BioWare it's just such. BioWare has fallen. This generation is BioWare has fallen. Like last generation was their height, was their pinnacle. They were so great. And
Dragon Age, Mass Effect.
Yeah. And then Star Wars, Old Republic.
Oh yeah.
So you had all that going for you. And then they got to this generation. You got Dragon Age, the
Inquisition,
third one. And that turned out to be okay. It's like, I don't know. It was okay. But you still had, Mass Effect coming out. Then it's got Andromeda. Anticipation for that. Then that turned out pretty bad. And that's like, good God, what the hell's going on here? After everything's fixed, it's pretty average game. And then you have Anthem. The Anthem was your big new franchise. So it's like, okay, but then you did something similar to what Destiny is. It's like, that's not really what I want from BioWare.
Right.
That's not what I wanted. I was like, man, y'all got the Old Republic. Can you just do something with that and keep those single player RPGs coming? Mm-hmm. But I was like, hey, if it's good, it's good. But hey, it turned out to be not that great. It turned out to be actually worse than Destiny.
Yeah.
Overall. So, and then they talk about they go to try to fix it, do revamp. Like really, there was not a lot of big support. There was no expansions that came out for Anthem. No. So
they had a timeline, and then they stopped that timeline, and we're like, we can't do this.
So it is, BioWare, like somebody said, BioWare is not what it used to be. They said CD Projekt Red is the new BioWare or something like that. But I was like, but CD Projekt Red, they don't put up games like that, like BioWare was. So they're a good studio though.
Which is crazy to think about how quickly BioWare was in fact pumping out really high quality games.
Yeah, it was. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I mean, you talk about even from the Xbox, the original Xbox era, you had the Knights of the Old Republic. Mm-hmm. They were still doing Neverwinter on the PC.
Yeah.
Then you have Neverwinter Nights, and they do one of, what was it? Which one was it? Was it Baldur's Gate or I forgot. It was some RPG along those lines before Neverwinter Nights. But then you had Jade Empire, which was great. That was so great. I love Jade Empire on the Xbox. Great Eastern RPG, like Eastern setting, man, with the Asian setting and stuff. Oh man, I kind of want to play that again. I wish they had like updated that game, but yeah, man. And then with Mass Effect, I couldn't wait for Mass Effect. It's like, oh my god, these graphics look so great in those magazines.
Yeah.
Man, all these decisions and shit. I mean in Dragon Age, that I didn't jump onto it right away, but after a while I did, but that's when they started putting those microtransactions in it. That was the early part of microtransaction. That's because they partnered with EA, man. It's like, god damn it. But that's also rumors saying that if they didn't partner with EA, they would have gone bankrupt, someone said. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish it was another studio.
Yeah. I wonder how much like outside influence from like an EA is making these turnarounds happen. Like maybe the heads of these studios are butting heads with whoever's in charge of them at EA, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, it sucks that how they have fallen. They were like one of my favorite developers. They were one of my favorite developers, and now they've gone the wayside.
Obsidian can only do so much, Dominic. They can only either be Bethesda or be the new BioWare. Which one will they be?
Yeah, exactly. Where are they going to be?
Based on that new game, it looks like they're leaning more towards the Bethesda route, but it's, it's not hard to forget that they're the ones that made KOTOR 2, right? So, they have it in them to do something like that. So
exactly.
So we'll see. All right, you got any other news you saw before we move into new releases, Dominic?
Let me see real quick.
It's worth mentioning there are a whole bunch of games coming to Game Pass this month. Some big titles. I mentioned Control earlier. Doom, you mentioned, of course, earlier.
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest.
S.
Yep.
The S edition, which don't stand for Switch.
It clearly does not.
Years ago.
But but that has like the 2D stuff in it now, so you can try that out.
Finally got to play. Because the demos can never say, you can't play this mode. When I try to play, so I did it again. I downloaded the demo on the Xbox thinking like, oh. And then it said, you can't play this mode in the demo. I said, oh, you sons of bitches. Oh, but you know, Batman Arkham Knight is still updating. They got 2 new skins.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the anime Batman skin. I want to say, I wonder if that's from that version I watched with Batman Ninja or something it was called, or
I don't think so. Like it looks different than that, I feel like.
Yeah, it does.
Could be wrong.
And then it's Zur and R. I don't know what the hell that is. Batman skin, and it looks like it's a pinkish red.
Yeah, it's like purple and pinkish red and black, right?
Yeah, and like yellow arms. It looks weird.
Yeah. I think it's like a different dimension or planet or something that he exists on. I've seen him in like comic booky stuff somewhere. People are like, oh, look at this weird Batman.
Yeah, I mean, they're free, so I guess that's cool if you ever get back into it. I don't really like these skins, so it's not like it's... I really don't like them. The ones I do like, I gotta pay for.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we get into new releases.
All right, Dominic, we got Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. It got its Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 upgrade this week, as well as FIFA 21 and Madden 21, as we talked about.
Okay.
So those are all up on the next gen now. We also have
but the Madden doesn't look as...
No, it doesn't.
The Madden, doesn't look super next gen. It doesn't look like a big improvement.
No,
it's somewhat
definitely
improvement,
some sharpness to it, but yeah. I was trying to watch videos to see if I could notice the difference, and in like the intro video, there's like a whole bunch of extra lighting in the next gen version that you don't see in the current gen version, but that doesn't seem like it carries over into the gameplay really at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we have to wait till next year's Madden.
That's what they're telling you now, Dominic, until you see it. Yeah, it's weird though, because I mean, part of it is like this is an upgrade, whereas like other years it used to be like this is the whole new thing. We had to build a new engine for it because it's a new console and this, that, and the other thing. And those are always like the giant leaps graphically, but gameplay wise, like you missed out on some features. And now it's just like, you put some extra lights in there, I guess. That's cool. I don't know. We're definitely not seeing like the difference between player models not having eyes and now having eyes, right?
Yeah, definitely not that. So. Yeah, 2K seemed like they did a better job with this, but because it's like that's a totally new game too. So man, I guess they couldn't do it for this generation. I mean, this year they have to do it for next year.
Yeah. We shall see what they do, Dominic. All right. We also got Worms Rumble for PC, PS4, and PS5. Of course, that is available as part of PlayStation Plus this month for PS4 and PS5.
Yeah, I gotta load that because you got it, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta load that up and try that out.
Yeah. So get your Battle Royale Worms on. We also got Sam & Max Save the World remastered for the PC and Nintendo Switch out now. Is that something you would want to revisit and go back to, Dominic?
That's what I've seen. Because I was wondering why I was seeing Sam & Max again. I was like, is it an anniversary or something? But I was like, I don't think. But yeah, I wouldn't mind playing that again.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I wouldn't mind.
That's one that does have some nice lighting on it, like seeing the comparison screenshots and stuff. It's like, oh, look at all. I
wanted to fix the audio too, because sometimes the audio would get really low in that game.
You would hope so. I mean, it seems silly that they wouldn't if that's the case. All right. We also got Haven. That's the one we talked about. That was like about a couple and you like float around the world and do battles and also have like relationship-y stuff. That's
a
lot PC,
of
PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. Yeah, so that looks cool. That's a game I could see popping up on Game Pass, though, real soon.
It is on Game Pass.
Oh, is it? Shit.
Yeah.
I missed that one. Perfect then, Dominic. Perfect. That makes a lot of sense because it was part of that.
It was in their show.
Thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had all of these games are coming to Game Pass. Completely forgot about that too. All right, we also have Immortals Phoenix Rising out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Google Stadia, as well as Amazon Luna, I guess you could say too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Luna like officially out where people can actually just buy it now?
No, I think it's still in its like beta thing. So I guess it's technically not. I don't know how that would work. We'll say it's not released yet on Luna then, because Luna is not officially released.
Okay.
But yeah, that's getting some decent reviews. Game Informer gave it a really good score, a 9, and everything else is kind of giving it like an 8 or so. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's getting some good reviews, definitely. I mean, because people don't want to give it too high a score because they wanted to beat Breath of the Wild.
Exactly.
So
even though they know in their hearts, Dominic, it's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you play as a woman. So I was joking.
I mean, you can play as a woman. You can also play as a man. You don't see many people playing as a man, though, which is fine.
You can play as a man?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a full creative character. I didn't think you could because I didn't. You never see him. Probably because he's as lame as the dude was in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Because it's probably the same voice, too, right? You were telling me it's mostly the same voices, so it's probably the same voice, and nobody's playing as them.
I think the developers are. That's why.
Yeah.
The developers are from that game. And and all the voice actors are from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So, man, ain't that something. Yeah. I didn't notice that as an option, though, when I played the demo. I didn't notice that option.
Yeah, I didn't either, but could you change the character at all in the demo? Or did I just not
that's what I'm saying. I didn't. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know it was an option, so that's why I thought it was just you play as a woman.
Yeah. No, they've got like, I don't know how full. I don't mean to say full because it's probably, if I had to guess, like choose from a palette of faces kind of thing. Not I'm moving the nose over here and the eyes over here. But yeah, you can definitely mess around with those characters a little bit, and you can be a man. I just haven't seen a single person playing it that way. So
yeah, exactly.
It's funny. Given the choice, Dominic, we always all play as women. All right. We also have Dragon Quest, as we talked about. 11S Definitive Edition does not stand for Switch on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
I think it stands for Special, they said. Yeah,
I think that's what they ended up settling with. I was going to call it the Scores Edition because there are boobs in it. I don't know if that's true. I don't think it's true at all, in fact.
I'm trying to think. No, the bunnies. They got people in bunny suits.
Oh, do they? Okay.
They always have that in Dragon Quest games. So yes, they are. They're in, and the old man, he be acting like a. That's a trope in the Japanese.
Is he a pervert?
Yeah, all old people are like perverts.
I wonder if it's just like everybody's grandpa is just like a dirty old man over there.
Yeah, I see. Like that's like, just the
respect
thing.
Your elders, and then let them grab your ass or whatever. Good Lord. Yeah, so that's cool. That's on Game Pass, so maybe I'll give it a little taste. Just because like the whole game's playable in that 2D mode, right? Like I'd be interested to just start it out and play. I mean,
that's what I'm going to do because I beat the game in regular, in 3D,
in normal game mode. Yeah. Speaking of similar things, we got Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and The Blade of Light. That's the original one that never came over. Yeah.
Okay.
It's one that never came over to America and is now out on the Switch. So you can check that out and see if you can find the collector's edition for $60 million or whatever it's going for now.
Oh, it's a physical collector's edition?
Yeah, there's a physical collector's edition that has like a map and all sorts of random stuff. And I think it was like $60 originally, but it of course sold out instantly, and now it's going for ridiculous sums of money because that's how everything happens nowadays, Dominic. You get your bot on there.
When is this going to be off the market?
When is this one? Is this also at the end of March, I want to say?
It sounded like it was.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yes, it is available until 3/31/21 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time.
For no goddamn reason.
Exactly. Literally no reason at all. Besides, like I said, the next day they're going to announce the new Switch, and then they're going to tell you, well, if you didn't get those games, you'll never be able to play them ever again. So you can fuck right off. You'll never play a new Mario game or an old Mario game again, except on emulators. All right. Also out now, Dominic, on Nintendo Switch is Fitness Boxing 2 Rhythm and Exercise. I heard that first game was actually pretty decent in comparison to
they got 2 of them.
Ring Fit. Yeah. So check that out if you're looking to get in shape. And we also have John Wick Hex on the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One. That's one of the
John Wick meets Jonah Hex? Oh, my goodness.
Exactly. The crossover we've all been waiting for, Dominic. Yeah.
It's like, what's the Hex?
It's a hexagonal board. It's like the puzzly ones, like the Hitman Go. And the not quite Lara Croft Go, because that was like still puzzly, but more an adventure kind of way.
Did you see Jonah Hex?
I might have seen parts of Jonah Hex. I don't know.
I've never seen it. Yeah,
I sat through the entire thing. I feel like I got it from Netflix or something at that time. Okay. I don't remember. That was long enough ago that Netflix was still doing. I mean, they still technically do DVDs, but back when I would have still been getting DVDs, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I might have rented it and watched. Maybe I did watch the entire thing, and it's just so completely forgettable because I feel like I remember John Malkovich being in there, being like the enemy or something. I don't remember. It's time to go back, Dominic. Time to revisit.
He was an evil prospector?
Yes, exactly. Probably a giant racist, I'm sure. Jonah Hex was there to kill him. Yeah. All right, Dominic, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right, then. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. It has all the previous podcasts as well as links to all the places you can find us. YouTube, where we also post the podcasts with gameplay footage behind them. Also Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, anywhere you find podcasts, basically, you can find it. Until next time, guys, see you later.
All right, see you.